I feel like you've cleared so much stuff. It's like I've got you beginning again, you know, but it's like I don't know, it's like you've got a clean slate. So you're starting this year off on a completely different footing, in a completely different situation, with completely different circumstances around you. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So what I get here, I feel like you're right, your intuition is correct here in terms of you sensing that there is something else to come in. Okay, because what I'm seeing happening for you, and I'm getting the summer months around this, so I want to say this month, July and August, are going to be particularly strong here for you. And this is all about you finally going up a level, okay? And I feel such an element of almost like creative energy around you, in creativity and intuition is kind of screaming out here, and you feel like you are in a different I want to say in a different place. Have you moved home?
No.
Yes. Yeah. So I feel like I've got you literally in a completely different vibration now. I want to say there are strong elements of almost like spiritual development and spiritual growth, but I also feel that you're going to be given an opportunity that has a work kind of feel around it, but it's on a higher level than what you've previously been doing. I'm also getting a very strong indication of changes around love as well for you, love and relationships. So that seems to be going on to a whole new level as well. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. There's a huge change around work, stepping right through for the next 3 months, and also as we go into the month of September. So I wouldn't be surprised if you make a major leap forward around that, and also that major leap forward around the relationships. I feel like it's a very, very interesting energy that you've got at the moment, because it feels as though you're in the perfect framework, as it were, the perfect framework to be able to manifest a bigger and stronger future for yourself. I also get the element of travel as well coming in for you, but I get with you, it's almost like financial and personal abundance coming in. So I feel like your reality in that respect, yes, it's changed considerably already, but I feel like it's still undergoing change. It's still morphing. It's still you're still transitioning. You think you've reached your new destination, but it feels like the universe has something much bigger and better planned here for you. That you could, how can I put it? It's almost like beyond your dreams. Okay, so it feels as though I'm getting you being catapulted forwards on many different levels with work, love and finances all starting to harmonise here. I feel like last year was that you did a lot of cutting away, if that makes sense. Cutting away of old patterns and releasing energy. At the moment I feel like it's like everything is kind of being suspended just as you settle a little bit into your new set of circumstances here. But I want to say within the next 3 months there is a major jump forwards here for you that I don't even feel you're going to have to necessarily apply a lot of effort to. So if I go back here in your life, I feel that you've always had to put so much effort in. Does that make sense? That you put so much effort into things, and for whatever reason, you know, I feel like it's you've always struggled to kind of get what you want. However, I feel really from this year onwards, it's like all the brakes come off, all the blocks come off, and you're able to get to where you want to be and beyond. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything you would like to ask?
What was that?
Is there anything else you would like to ask?
No, I think you answered it all.
Okay. All right. Are you happy with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you have a lovely evening, and thank you very much for coming through tonight. And off she goes. So we have Charlene in Fall River, Massachusetts. Hi, Charlene, are you there?
Yes. Hi.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I am good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have a question for me, Charlene?
Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to speak as loud as I can. Alright, so this is about this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? Alright, so this is about this guy named Luke, and I want to know if he is in my near future.
Okay, let me have a look here. Right, I'm going to shuffle the cards, and let's just see what I have for you.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a look here. Now you have with this guy, you have a really, really strong soul connection here with him. But as I tune into your energy, because at the moment I feel like you're I don't know whether it's you and I don't know whether it's him, that seems to be a sort of, I want to say unclear, undecided around your connection. I feel like it's still, you're still finding your footing, you're still trying to work out what this is all about, but you are very aware that there is a big connection between the two of you. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so let me just have a look. Right, if I tune into the energy of this, you know, to answer your question, I do feel that you know, they will be in your life, but I feel that it's almost like it's going to, I feel like it's a little bit tricky to kind of get it off the ground, because I feel that it kind of goes forward and then it steps back, and I feel like there's a lot of chopping and changing of the energy around this particular relationship. I feel if I look at this, I want to say a little bit more time. I'm getting sort of around 4 weeks here with this. You'll see a stronger movement forwards here with this relationship. But I have got a definite love connection here between the two of you, and the emotions seem to be really, really powerful. And there seems to be, like I said, there's a real strong soul and spiritual connection between the two of you. And I feel this is about, there's two things that are kind of, I feel like both of you have had quite a lot of difficulty in terms of relationships in the past. Okay, so yes, you've got this really strong connection, but you both seem very cautious in terms of moving it forward or stepping into it or throwing yourself into it, you know, too early without being able to ascertain and work out whether both of you are on the same track, if that makes sense, or on the same pathway. I feel even though this is in its very early stages, I feel that you already have, quite an intuitive connection here with them, and this is kind of looking to me as though we have a soulmate kind of connection here with them, or with between you and him. The number one thing that I feel is kind of pushing buttons, if you like, within this situation is your past experiences, and I feel like that is both making you both go quite slowly here. I feel, is there some sort of work connection between the two of you?
Can you expand on that?
Is there some sort of work connection or similarity between the two of you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because I get work tied into this, but you've also got the wish card. I keep on being given the number 3 around this. So I want to say within sort of either 3 weeks or 3 months, I feel like I've got this relationship moving forward in the direction that you would like it to be. Okay, so I'm seeing it go from what feels like quite an intense work connection to a very strong relationship. So your intuition is correct. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you. I'm nearly at the end of my show. I want to thank you for coming through. And I'm going to wish you a very, very lovely evening and a great week ahead. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. And off she goes, and that has gone so quickly. I can't believe my show is nearly over. So if you want to get hold of me again, my website is www.modern-mystic.co.uk. There are links as well to my website on the A1R Psychic Radio Network website if you want to get hold of me. So I'm hoping you enjoy the full moon energy on Friday, and get manifesting your desires and your hopes and your dreams. So I'm going to thank you for listening. I'm going to thank the callers for coming through, lovely Charlie and also Rhonda, and hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Love and light to you all, and I shall see you same time next week. Bye for now.
How's your hair? Is it pretty?
Daddy.
It's pretty.
Maybe honestly, I don't know. Maybe honestly, I don't know. I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV. You're here this week with Amanda Hall, Psychic from the Gold Coast in Australia. For those of you that aren't familiar with this part of the world, we're a little bit like California in the US of A. Beach, sun, bikinis, fun, cocktails and all that sort of stuff. But this week it's actually raining, cold, miserable because we're in the middle of winter. So we'll just sort of go back with the latter and we'll think of, you know, nice beach weather and everybody out having some fun. So it's been a very interesting week this week. I thought we'd start with the card of the week. So for those of you that have been tuning in over the last 11 weeks of the show that I've been bringing to you here each week, we always start with the card of the week from the Simply Tarot deck, a deck of cards that I created about 12 years ago now. So this week's card is the Moon. Now it's very, very interesting because the Moon card is the card of deception or delays, emotions up or down, maybe deceiving yourself emotionally or others. So it's a card that asks us to really delve inside to ourselves and ask ourselves those very pertinent questions. Is there anything that I'm deceiving myself about? Is there something in my life that I may be not looking at squarely? Or is there something that I'm portraying to other people that isn't exactly quite truthful? Whether it's for good or bad reasons, whether we think we're protecting them or not, maybe this is the time now to be truthful with everybody that's around us. So I felt that was a very interesting card to draw on the back of us having the full moon in Sagittarius over the weekend. So it's almost like a little bit of an extension of the full moon. So we're going to continue on with our little mini astrology lessons that we've been conducting here on the show, and we're actually up to the planet of communication. We're up to Mercury. Now Mercury is one of my favourite planets because Mercury gets a lot of press during the year. When Mercury goes retrograde and starts to play havoc with everything, everybody says, oh dear, here goes Mercury retrograde, and we blame everything on that. But Mercury is actually a very important planet in our astrological chart because it shows us how we communicate with the world. And as you may know, if you've been following this segment, your sun sign does not represent the other 9 planets sitting in the same energy. So for example, if you're a sun sign of Aries, you may have other planets sitting in other energies. So not just because you're an Aries does everything sit in Aries. So my suggestion is look it up on the internet, check out with an astrologer where your planets are, or you can always email me on the show or go to my Facebook page and we can organise an NE chart for you. So this week we're working with the planet of communication, Mercury. Now Mercury shows us not only how we communicate, but it also shows us our rational thinking, our intellect, how we sort of resolve intellectual problems or things that come into our thought patterns. So it's a very, very important planet to understand where Mercury sits in your chart and how it performs and how it makes you think. So for those people that are blessed, and I say blessed, to have it in the following 3 signs that we're going to work with this week. So Mercury in Aries means the fact that you are quick thinking, you can have ideas come and go very, very quickly. You like to motivate other people with your thought-provoking statements. You like to sort of come up with those light bulb moments that gives everybody, aha, that's where I need to be going, that's how I need to be looking at it, and then you disappear on to the next subject because you believe it's your responsibility is to just come up with the great ideas. You don't necessarily need to be there to execute them or move them along. So people that have Mercury in Aries quite often find they need to be in a fairly challenging job. They need to be in something where they've got to come up with quick answers, quick, decisive, let's get to it, no emotion in it. It's just, that's it. This is what's come into my mind, it's going to work, bang, on to the next thing. So it's quite an interesting placement for Mercury because Mercury does sort of feel comfortable there, but then times there it feels quite irritated too because people want you to give an explanation, and Mercury and Aries holding hands don't necessarily want to give you an explanation. We move on to the next sign, which is Mercury in Taurus. And anything we know that's got to do with the Taurian energy really drastically slows things down. So Mercury in Taurus is no different. Mercury here says, okay, let's think. Let's slow it right down. Let's look at the facts. Let's sort of analyse what's going on. Let's look at it, put it on paper, write it down, put it on the whiteboard. We need to see this in a visual way so that we can sort of ponder on this, give it a bit of thought. But it also gives us clarity here, because by slowing everything down, maybe then we get more answers in the way that we need to approach something on a communication level. You quite often find people with Mercury in Taurus have lovely speaking voices, and they quite often have beautiful speaking and singing voices as well. So it's really, really interesting when you work with someone that has Mercury in Taurus. You quite often say, I could listen to them recite anything. Their beautiful voice is just so amazing. So it's a nice placement to have Mercury in Taurus. If you're lucky enough to have that, you probably have a beautiful singing voice hidden there somewhere. So for those that have Mercury in Gemini, well, what can I say? Mercury's at home in Gemini. It's the planet that rules Gemini. So it's the one where Mercury loves to be the most. He's just right at home here. It's sort of quick, fast, logical, practical, indecisive, happy, everything all rolled into one. So anybody that has Mercury in Gemini, you quite often find that they go into a communications industry. A lot of people in the media particularly have Mercury in Gemini because they have that ability to think quickly, to rationalise information almost at the speed of lightning. It's almost like a computer brain that they have. They can quite often have photographic memories, but it's only when something really interests them. It's in, it's out, it's here, it's gone. They don't necessarily always retain that information unless it means something to them or is important to them. So please don't be too hard on our fellow Geminis that have Mercury in Gemini, because they process so much information. It's like the speed of lightning, that things come, things go, and they can't retain it all, otherwise their brains would explode. But they do make great journalists. They do come up with some very thought-provoking questions and ideas and give us different ways of looking at things and sort of innovation. And I think we all need that, and particularly in today's world where we're surrounded by so much communication in all the forms of social media. Sometimes we get a little bit overwhelmed in how that we should process all this stuff. You know, once upon a time, not that long ago, we used to send a letter by the snail mail. Now, if it's not there instantly, there's something wrong. So look at how life has changed in the last 20 or 30 years, and just makes you realise how quickly communication can change. So for the final little part before we take some calls here, I always like to try and bring in something that might be happening around this amazing universe of ours on an astrological front. Last week we spoke about the full moon in Sagittarius. This week I'd like to change the pace a little bit and talk about one of my other favourite planets that's just gone direct. Now, Jupiter has been retrograde now for a number of months this year and has just gone direct on the 10th of this month. So what this means in layman's terms, if you've been feeling a little bit stuck, if you've been trying to get new ideas off the ground, if you've been trying to reinvent yourself or reorganise your life or wanting to step out and do something new and you felt like you've had two concrete boots on, well, you probably have with Mercury going retrograde. Well, the good news is, I beg your pardon, I keep saying Mercury, it's Jupiter. With Jupiter going retrograde, Jupiter has now just gone direct on the 10th of June, and it's in Libra, so it's in an energy where Jupiter does feel reasonably okay, because the Librian energy is about balance, is about finding the truth, is about the nicer times of life, you know, bringing the prettier side of things in. It wants everything to be happy, joy, joy. You know, we want everything to be beautiful and perfect as much as possible. So Jupiter feels right at home there, because it's asking you to try and bring some perfection into your life. And it's also asking you, what is it that maybe you need to let go of? What is it that you're trying to bring into your life to improve it? And I think it's interesting now that Jupiter's gone direct, fingers crossed, that we may just see a little bit of a breather here with this terrorism that's been going on around the world, that maybe we might have just diffused a little bit of that. We can only hope, so that people can start to sort of try and put their lives back together and see some positive things. Let's try and move the second half of this year along in a very positive, dynamic way, and looking at just maybe doing one tiny little thing for ourselves, something that we can all manage. That's your homework for the week. Try and think of something that you can do, one small step you can take that will improve your life, that will bring you some joy. And if we all did that around this amazing globe of ours, imagine the positive energy that we would all start to amass. because one person doing something positive and then the next person doing something positive, and on it goes, we change the energy around the globe. And I think that's what we need to be doing at the moment, is we need to try and find a positive way of all of us taking a little bit of responsibility for ourselves and our own lives, and collectively the energy will shift. And I think that's a really nice way of looking at it. So in, you know, the jigsaw of you, of how you're made up, that's what we've been doing as we work through these planets, and we work through a little bit of what's happening in the universe every week. So we're going to now start to take our first caller for the show. We've got Lisa in Denver City. So Lisa, are you there? Texas? Lisa? Lisa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Can I help you? How can we help you tonight, sweetie? Do you have a particular question you'd like me to answer, Lisa?
I was just really looking for some general insight. I am also a light worker, and I do some psychic medium work, and I'm just looking at some, maybe like some guidance or some insight maybe of what you're getting drawn to tell me, of where I can take my business a step further, and or what I can do, just some general guidance.
Okay. Lisa, do you mind sharing with me your date of birth, please, sweetie? Just the day and the month will be fine.
May 4th.
Okay, so you're Taurus, Lisa. Okay, so because the first thing I was getting psychic was that you were at a crossroads. It's like a number of things have come to a close or are coming to a conclusion, and it's like, it's what next? The question marks are there. Where do I go from here? It's not that I necessarily want to walk away from things. You feel it's now a time of expansion, a time of growth. Now, it's interesting because I do feel it is a time of growth. But I think also what you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you want to achieve from this work? It's all well and fine saying, yes, I'm a light worker, I'm in spiritual work and all these sort of things. And yes, you know, we all need an income to survive on. That's part of what makes the world go round. But I always wonder what it is that drives you to do this sort of work. I know for me personally, it's never been about finances. It's never been about money. It's always been about trying to help someone else to make their life better. And this is where I think you've been a little bit stuck. It's sort of like you've been wrestling with yourself at why you're doing this work. The first thing that they're showing me is I think you need to review your pricing structure. I actually think that you're undervaluing yourself, and I think this is part of where the questioning is coming in. It's like, oh, how do I price my time? How do I price my knowledge? And that's always a difficult one, because so many people sort of believe that we should give this away freely. I don't agree with that. There has to be a transfer of energy, whether that's money or loaves of bread or a sheep or a cow or whatever. There has to be a transfer of energy of some sort of thing. In this day and age, it's currency. That's the transfer that has to happen. So I think you need to sit down and look at your pricing structure. I think there needs to be, you need to treat this like a business, and I think that's part of the problem. You've never actually put your work into the third person. We need to put it into, this is the third person, this is the business. Now, if you were a business and you were selling shoes, once a year you would reevaluate your pricing structure, your costs, how much money it's costing you to have the store open, how much it costs you to produce shoes, how much it costs you to sell them, and how much profit you're making. So I want to see you put your business into that way, and look at sort of, you know, set a date on the calendar. The first of every August 1 every year is when I look at how I'm going business-wise. Am I happy with the pricing structure that I've got? Is it time to have a little price increase? And I think if you can put it in that way, I think you'll start to feel that you're more in control of this, which is good, which is what needs to happen. Have you just taken up the study of another tool to put in the toolkit, Lisa?
Have I done what? What did you say with the tool?
Have you taken up some study in another area, like astrology or numerology or something like that?
Oh, no, right now I'm just, I'm working as a certified psychic medium, and that's what I do. I have my own business I've opened. It's called Magnet Motivation. Me and my husband, I was in a car wreck in 2014, and that left me paralyzed. So after this car wreck, my abilities have just been really heightened, and I went full force with it, and I've been doing it full time every day. And like I said, I'm a mother and I'm a wife, and so I'm just really trying to balance everything right now. But it's sometimes I have the I almost want to doubt myself, and I'm scared that I'm going to just wake up one morning and it's not going to be the same, you know. But it's that fear, it's that irrational fear that always is trying to creep in, and so I'm constantly working on staying balanced and staying motivating and inspiring for people, because that is why I do this. I do this for people, and I mean, I wish we could do it all free, but my time is money, and you know, my abilities, I give my all to people when I look at them. So
oh yeah, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it for money. What I'm suggesting, Lisa, is we've got to put it into the third person, as if the business entity is separate from you and your husband and separate from family life, so that if you do that, it then becomes less scary. Look, the day you stop having fears about losing your gift, that's the day that I think you're in serious trouble. Let me share that with you, Lisa. I've been in this sort of work over 40 years, and I can tell you I still wake up most days and think, oh my heavens, I hope I've still got my gift. And I think if you lose that, I think you lose your objectivity, I think you lose the ability to stay grounded. So don't be frightened of that. But can I sort of suggest, I mean, as we go through life and as we go through our psychic development, there's always something else that we can learn. Even though, as I said, I've been in this industry a hell of a long time, I personally went back earlier this year and started doing a course with somebody that's very world renowned, not because I thought that I was going to necessarily learn anything, it was something I did for my soul. So, you know, sometimes we've got to do things like that that are just purely for us, that feed our soul as a psychic, as a medium, as, you know, a light worker, that we sometimes need to do things for ourselves. I think what you need to do, what they're showing me, is there needs to be more structure. There needs to be, and this is really hard to do when you need income, is to set regular hours, that these are the only hours that I work. I've got work hours, I've got family hours, I've got, you know, homework hours, I've got time with my children, and stick to that. When somebody rings up and says I want an appointment and it's outside of those hours, that can be really daunting, because you know you need the money.
You're pretty spot on about that, because right now that's where I'm struggling. I'm struggling how to balance my time, where I can still have, you know, my time and my family time, and I have a hard time turning people away. You know, I'm just struggling with that right now.
I think we all struggle with that, Lisa, and that's something I can't give you a magic answer to that. All I can say to you is, if you look at it like a business, and this is how I overcame it, I went and did a business course, and I put the psychic stuff into the business category, that this is business. Business hours are between this hour and this hour, no exceptions. And then that way, by you being more confident when you speak to people, and you don't say to them, well, when would you like your appointment? You say to them, my next available appointment is Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. And they say, oh, I can't do that, I work. And then you say to them, well, my next available appointment is. And it's whatever you might want to work outside of business hours, is when you give them that opportunity. So that's how you sort of, you've got to keep working at it, sweetheart. It doesn't just, you wake up one day and everything falls into place. It's a constant battle and a constant struggle between trying to manage your time and have downtime with your family, which is equally as important, if not so more important. So I think you're certainly on the right path, but they were showing me some other study or some other tool that you were going to start to study later this year as well.
My husband is actually getting into the astrology, so we're trying to get in that together and kind of build our business and do kind of where we can offer more services, you know, and just better ourselves all around. I was going to ask you, do you have are you getting anything, or do you have any feelings regarding my marriage or my family or anything?
Look, I think as far as your marriage and family life is concerned, I think, you know, things there are pretty stable, even though you sort of worry about things all the time. You know, there's always going to be ups and downs in family life, but basically on the whole, I think the two of you are twin souls. You're meant to be together. You know, you've got a great little family, so just keep going. Just take each day as it comes, Lisa. Don't try and fix the whole world problems in one night. You know, take it one step at a time. But if you go to my Facebook page later, if you go to my Facebook page tomorrow, I'll put up there some suggestions of some astrology books that may help you and your husband with your studies.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, sweetheart. Lovely to talk with you, and I wish you every success. I know you and your husband are going to do very well. You keep up the good work.
Thank you, and I wish you well too, and I appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you, Lisa. We're going to go to Brenda in Toronto, Ontario. Shut up. Are you there, Brenda?
Here. Hi.
Hello. Hi, Brenda.
Hi.
How can I help you?
Hi there. I just wanted to get a reading. I've been having, you know, a difficult past few months, and I just wanted to see if, you know, what direction I should go in, or, you know, what could be, you know, in my future, or what direction I should take.
Okay. All right. The last couple of months, I think what you've been doing, what's been happening is you've been going through what I term as a lot of psychic and emotional changes. So even though you've been feeling very, very restless and at times sort of really quite emotional, you know, sometimes you're on a real great high and then the next couple of hours you can be feeling really quite low. Don't be too hard on yourself, because this just means that you're tuning into things a lot more than what you used to do. So this is a good thing. This is not a bad thing. And this always happens just prior to a major emotional shift in our lives, or us moving into some very different areas of our life. So as we start to open ourselves up on a psychic sort of level or on an intuition level, we start to be more aware of our emotions, of how we feel, becoming super sensitive to things. Some people say, oh, noises are starting to annoy me. Some people say I can't stand light. Other people say I'm having food allergies, or things that, you know, never bothered me once upon a time are now bothering me. And these are all part of the changes that are happening. What they are showing me is from August this year, I do feel that it's going to take a very different direction to where it is now. Have you been contemplating changing your day job?
Yes.
They're showing me a new job, but it's not coming before about August. And they're showing me it's still in the same type of work, but it's got a different energy about it. It's sort of like, it's still familiar type of work, but it's like the company themselves might handle their business a different way, so it's going to give a new sort of feel to you. It's giving you excitement. I'm going to say it's going to be a fairly reasonable sized company that you'll be going to work for. It won't be super small, but it's not a big multinational either. It's sort of like a medium sized company. We have the opportunity, I feel, to grow within the company itself. There's opportunities there for advancement. They particularly don't sort of stand in the way of women getting ahead in the business. They are very equal in that way. They don't care whether you're male or female. If you work hard, the opportunities will be there for you. I also feel that there's going to be some changes to where you're living. I'm not saying necessarily a move of residence, but I'm saying you're going to be changing things around or moving the furniture around or something like that. That's also part of the changes that are happening. Has there been some changes in your personal relationship with your, you know, matters of the heart? Has there been some difficult patches there with your partner?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm not necessarily seeing an end to the relationship, but what I am seeing is we've still got some tricky patches here to manoeuvre. And the most important thing I can say to you is stand your ground and be open and honest. You don't have to turn around and change your mind or back down on what is important to you just because your partner doesn't understand, can't understand, or doesn't want it to be that way. If they're really the right person for you, then they will work at trying to find a solution with you. And by the same token, I'm not asking the other person to back down on what they believe is important either. It's a time of negotiation for the two of you, and I believe we can take this relationship into a much, much deeper level once we overcome these issues that have been coming up. It's because you're growing at a fast rate of knots and the other person hasn't been matching you the step. That's the major problem here. So they've either got to allow you to continue to grow, and be happy to sit on the sidelines and just support you, or step up to the plate and grow with you. It's their choice. You know, we don't always have to grow at the same rate. We just have to be accepting of our partner's changes. You know, we don't all stay the same. Life would be boring. We'd all be back at babyhood still sitting in diapers. So that's not where we want to be, you know. That's what life is about. It's about evolving, growing, changing, moving forward. I think the remainder of this year will see some surprises, but surprises in a positive way, not necessarily in a negative way. So just stand your ground, take day by day. Don't be in a hurry to try and sort everything out in one go. Just take it one step at a time. And I know that you will find that when you look back on 2017, it's going to be one of the most major, exciting years of your life where a lot of change has happened. So I wish you well on your journey. I know that you will have some amazing stories to tell at the end of the year, and have a great week. So unfortunately, we've come to the end of another show. So next week on the show, we'll be obviously doing the Simply Tarot card of the week. We'll be continuing on with our series of Mercury. Mercury will be moving into Cancer, Leo and Virgo next week, and we'll also have a little glimpse at what's happening in the universe around for you. So enjoy your week, be kind to each other, and I look forward to working with you all again next Wednesday. Have a great night.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
Ma.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio now on Moonstruck TV. Enlightening television.
Hi beautiful people, and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I am Josie Curcio. I'm going to be your host for today, and I'm live from beautiful Sydney. It's a gorgeous sunny day today. I'm actually quite lucky. I've got this beautiful window next to me, and I've got this nice sun coming through. So I feel pumped and ready for the show and energized, and I hope that wherever you are, you feel the same, ready to enjoy the show and what we're going to be discussed today. So before I start, allow me to do a quick shout out to Susan. She was lovely enough to approach me last night. I know you're watching right now, Susan, so a big mwah and hi. You were sharing with me some of your interest in regard to colour healing, and guess what? Today is the day. So I'm going to be discussing about colour healing and colour therapies. So I hope you enjoy the show. Please feel free to connect with me during the show if you want, because we're going to be doing some free readings as well. So yourself and whoever is watching right now, feel free to connect to the show. All you need to do to get your free readings is just go into the A1R Psychic Radio Facebook page, like the actual live stream video that is on right now, and then inbox them privately and let them know that you want to connect with me, and they will link you right through so we can have a nice live chit chat. And what I can do today for you guys, since we're going to be talking about colour therapy, is these beautiful colour cards that I do have and I use, so we can all get some free readings on that, which will be really, really exciting. And yes, let's just start talking about colours. It's a subject that I can talk forever, because there is so many layers to colours. You know, as you all know, each one of you out there is connected to a colour or likes a colour. You know, I don't think I've ever met anyone in the last 17 years I've been doing this and I've been more aware of colour healing. I don't think I've ever met anyone who said to me, I don't like any colours. You know, everyone is connected to a colour, two or more, and of course we do have some colours that we don't like, which that's another area that we can endeavour another time, because there's a reason why on a subconscious level why we don't actually like colours, which is really, really interesting. Something that I discovered for myself about 17 years ago. But for now, I'm going to put that aside, and I'm just going to roll with some of the information that I would love to share with you guys today. Like I said, if we talk about colours, we can put it on top of an umbrella. Underneath that, we can dissect it in so many ways. But one of the subjects that I want to share with you today, it would be how to use colours to actually protect yourself, to shield your energy, to pretty much release energy as well when you want to release a negative emotion, or how to activate it so that you can actually manifest something that is more positive. And colours can do that for you. It's fascinating. It's so interesting to know. I discovered that colours have always been used for that, particularly in the ancient times. And some of the knowledge that we can actually look at goes back as far as the Egyptian times. They were the first ones that where we can see written knowledge that they have actually used that to improve themselves as a colony, you know, as a nation. And on an individual level as well, they used to, believe it or not, they used to even dream colours, because you can do so many things with colours. So one of the fascinating things when I discovered, I'm going, how can you dream colours? So what they used to do, and some people are still doing it this day, is you actually put some water in a bottle, and the glass bottle is actually coloured, and they put it in the sun, or they used to put it in the sun for just like not too long. It depends if it was a really hot day, very summer day, or if it was more of a mild kind of a sunny day. And so you leave it there, and what happens is the sun re-energizes that water, and it actually pushes the vibration of that particular colour right into the water, and you can drink it afterwards. And you can drink a little bit, or you can drink a little bit more. It depends on what you were going through physically or emotionally and even spiritually. And so they were doing that already then, which is fascinating. I have found out that there's some people out there now that are still doing it. I have done it a few times, where you can actually, now we're lucky enough where colours are so in fashion, you can actually buy those beautiful colourful bottles anywhere, and you can actually put it out there and use it to help yourself. Another thing that you can do is also you can actually breathe colours, and I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but what it means is some of you out there that perhaps likes to meditate or wants to try something different, is just as we naturally breathe in and breathe out, it allows you to actually concentrate on the technique of breathing, or the natural cycle of breathing, and actually visualize a colour. You can close your eyes for it. Some of us are more visual than others. You can close your eyes and you can sort of visualize a colour. And sometimes you can let that colour come to you. You just close your eyes and you put a question out there and just ask, what is the colour that I need today? And you'll be surprised, that colour will just go poof, and it'll pop up right in front of you, and you can just work naturally that way with that process. And what you do is, as you breathe in, you kind of visualize, you know, that colour coming through. You're breathing in, you're filling up your lungs, and then you breathe it out. And when we breathe it out, it's almost like this cleansing process that picks things up that it may, perhaps could be a little bit negative, maybe doesn't feel right, and it sort of scoops it, absorbs it, picks it up, and then it comes out through our nose, and we go, And that's a very simple process that it can be done within minutes. You know, the more you do it, the quicker and easier it becomes, and I suggest that to do it, you know, every morning, because it is nice to connect to something like that every day, because it just kind of, it gives us that spark to start the day, and it makes us feel really, really good. So that's one other way to sort of use colours. Then, as you know, you can also wear colours. We all kind of do it subconsciously. You know, most of us, we just feel really drawn to a particular colour, and sometimes it could go for a little while, and other times we'll skip from that colour to a different colour. And the interesting part of that is, and what I recommend you to do, is watch your emotions when you do that. I don't know if you like me. What I used to do before I sort of became more spiritual and more free with my thoughts and more free with my way of doing my things. When I was a manager, I used to work as a manager before I sort of started my business. And I used to put my clothes all ready the night before, all lining nice and clean on, you know, on my chair there, thinking that that's what I was going to wear the next day. And then, I don't know if you guys did the same thing I did. I'll wake up in the morning the next day and I'll look at those colours and I'll be going, nah, I don't want to wear that. That doesn't feel right. I am going to wear this instead. Whether I was going for something brighter or whether I was going for something darker, what that represented was that in the morning, once I woke up, depending if I had a good night of sleep or didn't have a good night of sleep, I was actually showing my emotion on that day. So if I felt really vibrant and I had a really good night of sleep, I would automatically go for something a little bit more uplifting in colours. And if I felt really tired for whatever reason, I was going for darker colours. So that was so fascinating when I was learning about colour therapy, how that allowed me to be more aware as how I was using colours. And that's pretty much how it works. So what I want to share with you today, because it's a short segment, I'm going to keep it kind of short, is how colours and what different colours are out there that can actually help us to protect ourselves and to motivate ourselves as well. And you can use them by some of the examples that I've already shared with you, where you can actually use them as clothing, you can use them as this breathing exercise. You know, we all know that to breathe deeper is good for us anyway, so why not adding some colour and make it all nice and sparkly. And again, you can actually use it in this bottle of water if you guys want to do that. And the other thing that I want to add that I just remembered is that you can actually use crystals as well. Some of you are very into crystals. I used to be as well. And it's easy to actually get a crystal that we get attracted to, that it's got a particular colour, and you can actually, that crystal, if it's a tumble stone, can be kept in the pocket, in your bag, or you can actually wear it as well. So you can have a little gem, or, you know, like a bracelet. Us women, we can sort of get away with more jewellery as earrings and things like that, but the options are endless. So don't stop from getting this colour healing, you know, like embrace it, and just the options, like I said, there are so many ways of doing it. So I actually challenge you to try it, and then let me know how you go. You know, reach out to me and see how you go with that. Now, let's start with the basic colour that most people already know about. Like, it's quite a popular colour, most people talk about this, and it's the white colour. Have you ever heard of somebody saying to you, oh, if you really want to protect your energy, visualise a white light. Either you visualise it as a beam of light, sort of shining from up above all the way down and showering yourself into this transparent, beautiful white light. Another way to do it is also into a bubble, where you can step into an actual bubble, and again, a transparent, beautiful, vibrant white colour, where you step into it and you feel very protected. It's like your safety space, where you can sort of activate it to protect yourself, and you're kind of saying, you know, I don't want people to be too close to me today because maybe I'm not feeling very well, or maybe my energies feel a little bit drained, so I've got to be more aware of my surroundings. And so that's another way to sort of do it. The white colour is really, really popular because, as like when you walk into a church, for example, we're surrounded by beautiful white candles, you know, and it automatically kind of feel like there's a beautiful feeling to it. You know, it takes you to a different place, and that's because white actually evokes angels' beings, or evokes beautiful beings from up there that are from a different from a different realm, that they can actually come and look after you. So that's why that color is the most popular one, because you can actually ask for protection, and at the same time you can actually feel your guides around you. And that's pretty much how it works, and that's why when you walk into our church you get this beautiful feeling of feeling safe, cleansed and protected. As you know, white colour is very used in hospitals or anything that needs to look clinical, because it kind of gives you that really clean feeling. There is no imprints or dirt or of any shape or form. Everything looks very nice and clean, and you kind of already want to walk into something that is cleansed. So that's why you kind of use that colour. And it's very, very, very popular. So if you feel drawn to that colour, I definitely recommend you to use it. The other colour that is not mentioned that much, it's quite rare. I haven't heard anyone kind of mentioning it, and I have been using it for myself, so I kind of know that it does work, and I would love to share that with you. It's the black colour. And automatically, normally when I say black, people go, "Oh, Josie, no, what are you talking about? Black just doesn't feel right." But just hear me out. If you really want to protect your energy, because it's a colour that you would normally use when we're looking at our clothing. You women out there, we all done it, and a lot of the guys do it too. When we feel kind of not our best, we feel bloated, we feel a bit flat, emotionally flat or physically not at our best, the first colour we pick when we look at our wardrobe is black. We go for the black tights or the black top or the black jacket, or that black colour. We automatically assume that it makes us feel safe and almost like hidden. When you're not at your best, you don't want to sort of show off out there and talk to everybody. Sometimes we want to be part of the shadow. We just want to do what we need to do. We just got enough energy to do that, and we just kind of want to hide from everybody else. Don't look at me, I'm not ready today to discuss anything. So we kind of do that automatically with our clothing. It would make sense to actually use that black colour when it comes to protect ourselves. Do visualize it as transparent as possible. And if you're not very good at visualizing, because not everybody doesn't get that straight away, sometimes it's an art that you guys got to work on, just say it. Just say that I want to be in my own space, and I want to be inside this bubble that protects me. I'm going to step into it and make sure that it is all like transparent, so it doesn't have to be totally black, and stay safe. It's your space, it's your little corner where you can sort of do your own little things. So black is not as bad as most people think. It keeps you safe for a little while you're re-energizing yourself. It keeps you in I kind of got to say, in that little corner where it's like there's pebbles everywhere, and you puddle the pebbles, and no one is going to bother you because you kind of puddle the group. So it's a lovely colour to actually use. I would love to hear from you if you are going to practice that. Let me know what you think, and it'll be awesome to share some information with you guys. Like I said, it worked for me, and I know it's something that we kind of do automatically. So really cool to sort of use that. The other colour that we can also use is, believe it or not, pink. Pink, it's an awesome colour to feel protected, particularly when there is gossiping going around, or really nasty words that have been shared around about you, or bad intention from a group of people or just one person in particular, and you feel really mistreated by that. So by creating this gorgeous little pink bubble, you can actually feel really safe. But what I like about the pink is it keeps you guys at a heart level. It gives you that compassion that we need to have to sort of look above the gossiping. And I would love to sort of share this with you guys as well, that when you do that, because it has happened with me and I have practiced it, don't just visualize your own bubble. Send them love by visualizing them in a bubble as well, so that they can bring their energy down from the ego to the heart. Because sometimes, it does happen, where they get into gossiping, or they get into whatever it is that they feel that it's negative and they're unhappy about. But when they bring the energy into their heart, they can snap out of it. They can go, oh, why did I do that? I'm going to stop, or something like that. And it kind of automatically happens with colours. Again, remember, if you're not comfortable doing the actual bubble, you can always wear clothing. Pink undergarments, if you don't want to wear pink as an actual top. Jewellery, you can wear a crystal. And you can practice with the breathing and back into the actual bottle as well if you want to. So these are some of the little colours that you can actually use. There is a little bit more, and I would love to pass that on to you next week. But just as a little starter, I hope you enjoyed that, and feel free to connect with me through from my Facebook page. It's Josie Curcio Inner Light Therapies, and inbox me privately if you've got any questions. I'll be more than happy to share the discussion with you guys, and let me know how you go if you do try it as well, so that we can discuss it next week. Every week I'm going to be sort of bringing different topics up and some of your perhaps questions or things that you want to share with me, so I would love that. The other way you can reach me as well is through my website, www.innerlighttherapies.com.au. So I'm gonna stop there now. I won't tease you anymore, and I will go right into the actual readings. Let's do some free readings. So I'm going to prepare myself. Let me get a pen. I've got my color therapy deck ready as well. And so let's see who we got. We got Christy next. So I'm going to write this down. Christy, are you there, darling?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi, darling. Nice to connect with you. How can I help you?
Well, my first question is, I'm having some difficulties at work, and I'm just curious if it's going to work out or if I'm moving on to something new and bigger.
Okay, Christy, can I double check? Did you say work?
Work, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem, darling. I can definitely do that for you. And if you don't mind, because I do numerology as well, and I do connect numerology with colours, can I have your birthday, like your date of birth?
12/22/74.
Sorry, 12?
December.
Of December. So 12 of 12, 1974. Is that correct?
22nd. The 22nd. I was a Christmas baby.
Oh, the 22nd of December. Okay, got it now. Oh, wow, look at your energies. I love your birthday because it pretty much tells me that you got a sensitivity to you as well. You're very sensitive. But at the same time, so I feel that you do have a very strong intuitive side to you. You kind of know things when you're at your best, but you also need to be very analytical. You need to have plans. You love to sort of know what's going on as well. So you've got both sides. You've got that spiritual side and you've got that analytical side as well. Am I correct in saying that?
You are absolutely correct.
Yes, I love it. And then I don't know how you feel about colour therapy because you got a double 2 as well. How do you feel about the colour orange?
Well, that is an interesting color. It wouldn't be my first pick.
No, yeah, and I'm not surprised. So all of that means is that you're going through a stage when we don't actually like a colour. There is an emotional not disconnection, but there's a little bit of a challenge there. And what it means is that because you've got that analytical mind and you're more of a planner, the orange instead wants you to be more of an adventurous human being. You know, don't plan so much, actually just jump into it more often, which scares you to do that, doesn't it? Like you prefer to have your plans first so that you know where it takes you next, instead of just jumping. Dive and not knowing where it's going to take you. Like limbo doesn't really suit you. It frightens you a little bit. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So that's what's going on, Christy. Okay, so that makes sense. So with colour therapy, the way it works, and choose any shades of orange, even though you've just told me that you wouldn't wear it. What I tell my clients...
I'm wearing rose quartz now, which when you were talking about pink, I'm like, I'm wearing my pink.
Good girl, because that's fantastic, because with the situation that you're going through at the moment with work, it would definitely help you to bring the energy into your heart, because your heart always knows what's best for you. It's your analytical mind that you've got here that kind of doubt sometimes situations. So you kind of get torn between this beautiful energy that you have, which is your soul and your heart energy, which is where you know where exactly where you should be going, because it really, even though you don't know where you end up, it kind of tells you, come on, Christy, we can do this. But then your analytical mind, Christy, goes, oh, no. What if I make a mistake? What if it's not right? What if there's other options? So you kind of get torn and you stay put instead of jumping. So the orange, keep on wearing the pink as a crystal, like, you know, hold the crystal, which is going to help you with bringing things back into the heart. So that energy will go there automatically. But with the orange, any shades of orange, Christy, do try to wear as undergarments or try to wear as a gem. You know, the orange crystals will be, if you're into crystals, it would be like a carnelian.
Yeah, I have that stone.
Yeah, so I would recommend you to, if you're into crystals and it's easier for you to do that, I would recommend you to have a beautiful carnelian, you know, into a tumble stone, or you can wear it as jewelry, a bracelet, because it's going to allow you to sort of create that future of yours, even though you might not know where you're going to end up. So you can actually follow that beautiful heart of yours that it's already screaming at you, because that's what I'm getting here. But you know what I'll do, Christy? I will look at the cards and let me double check on what the conditions are around you. So I'm going to use my intuition as well as just looking at these cards. I can see, Christy, that it has created a little bit of stress, and I also see that something similar has happened to you in the past, or it's reminding you of something that's already happened to you in the past, and you're going, no way I want to make the same mistake. Like, I don't want this to be repeated. I definitely want to move forward. Does that make sense, Christy?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so let's see. You know what's beautiful here? Your guides, and by the way, you're surrounded by them. You've got plenty around you. Your beautiful guides are saying to you, do not blame yourself for anything. You haven't done anything wrong. This is not your fault. You just need to sort of believe that you've got better opportunities out there. I kind of have this feeling that you need to stand your ground with somebody, and that you need to celebrate the outcome after that. So whether you want to stay here and be valued more and maybe there's changes, or you want to actually create something else and go outside this work, you do have possibilities and you do have opportunities. It's a matter of you know, feeling that heart of yours that is kind of screaming for something better. Because that's kind of what I'm getting here. Also, do you like flowers? Because I'm seeing a bunch of flowers. Or I see you buying more flowers or connecting to flowers, or you're going to receive some flowers.
So as crazy as it sounds, I plan on planting my planters full of orange marigolds this week.
That is awesome. So see how you're connecting to the orange automatically? You didn't even think of that. So that's exactly what you need to do. And I'm seeing you connecting to the flowers. Anything that is a natural element that we connect with, it brings us back to the heart. It brings us back to our purpose. You know, you are not meant to be stuck to where you're at the moment. Also, that's making me feel, Christy, that you deserve a better pay. You know, there is better out there. So there is got to be an improvement here with where you're at. You know, like, again, I feel like that you need to be valued for who you are. And whatever happened to you in the past, it will be in the past. You need to move forward. You know what else they're showing me? The color magenta or fuchsia. How do you feel about that?
What's that?
The color magenta, you know that beautiful fuchsia color?
Yeah.
It's got that hot pink. Can you connect to that as well?
Yeah.
Yes, please connect to that as well. And let me know how you go. Unfortunately, we're getting to the end of the show. I'll have to kind of wrap it up. But with those colors, use them as often as you can. Let me know how you go, because obviously that we can sort of change. As you're changing and as you're evolving and as you're doing the right thing and you're resonating to your heart, you can actually sort of move to different things all the time. So please feel free to connect with me. It was a total pleasure to connect with you, Christy. And feel free to let me know how everything goes. And I hope you enjoyed this.
Yes, thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys. So the colour therapy are amazing. I got so excited about her connecting to the colours, connecting to the pink. I saw flowers, and she just told me about the beautiful orange marigold that she's going to be planting. I just love my job. It is just a privilege to connect with you guys, and you know that the messages don't come from me personally. It's a connection to something bigger than us. So it is a total honour.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants. Obviously, she's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
Good evening, everyone. It's Susan Kennedy from the Gold Coast, broadcasting today from Australia. So, welcome to this week's show, Living and Loving Life. And if I seemed a bit weird then, it's because I've just been travelling everywhere. I've just come back from a few days in Newcastle, which is, for those of you in America, that's a 12-hour drive away, about a 1-hour flight. And I'm off to the United Kingdom next week, to London. So, yeah, it's sort of saying, where am I at the moment? And I just thought I'd start this week's program by talking about some of the things that have been really coming up for myself and for people. And the biggest thing I've been noticing right now is this energy of, questioning who you are, with not so much myself, but the people I've been working with, really questioning who they are, where they're going, and what life's all about. So the thing is, my big thing is that everybody is a being of light, that we're all amazing, that you're all amazing, and that your life is just about discovering that and working out how you can have your breakthrough. So it's really about being very patient with yourself and knowing that life is a journey. It's a series of ups and downs. It just has to be. And sometimes life is really hard, but it's when it's at its hardest that the biggest breakthroughs come through, because that's where you find your strength. That's where you find your resilience. And that's where you find your capacity to really love and be loved. So if you're going through a bit of a tough time at the moment, just try to see it as a breakthrough about to happen. And the other thing is that, when we're really struggling with ourselves or our feelings, it's that thing of really understanding who you are and what you stand for. So what I mean by that is being very much in alignment with your own spiritual principles. If you're someone that loves animals and eating meat is not right for you, and you go out to a restaurant and somebody says, hey, why are you doing that? It's about knowing that you have the right to make your choices and being in your own power and standing up for what you stand for will help you feel more aligned. It'll help you feel more powerful as a person. So really knowing what you stand for and standing up for yourself, being willing to go out on a limb. And the other thing really, what really comes to me at the moment, I'm going to London next week, and there's been all this dreadful stuff happening, which by the way is happening all over the world. And when things happen, it's very easy to fall into the energy of blame or to say that people are wrong. But if we end up in the energy of hate, then we're going to only perpetuate that. So I think that really the whole thing about life is be patient with yourself. Know that if you're going through something, then you're potentially about to go, have a big breakthrough about who you are. In the down times, you'll really find your strength. You'll really find who you are. And to really stand up for what you believe in, really stand up for who you are. Know what your values are and stick to them. And then the other thing is just to know that love is the answer to everything. It's about loving yourself, being patient with yourself, and knowing that love is the energy that will change everything. So it's just a way of how can I find ways to love? How can I find more love within myself? So this is amazing now, because I've got my next caller, and her name is Yolanda in Palm Beach Gardens in Florida, and I have another friend called Yolanda that lives actually here, who I went to Cancun with last year. So Yolanda, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. Thank you. Doing good.
That's
good.
That's good.
I was wondering, my husband passed away in 2014, and I was hoping to get a message.
Okay. Let me just see then if I tune into your husband, Yolanda. Okay, so my feeling is with him, you know, I have a great sense of him. Were there issues around his stomach area before he passes?
Say it again, please.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Sorry, I just have this sense of him. Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes,
it's not such a great connection. Yeah, okay. Look, I have a sense with your husband that the feeling was, you know, he passes with an illness in hospital.
Well, he was in the hospital for a while, and then I brought him home, and hospice came.
Okay.
He passed away in
because
my house.
I know that when he passes... Yeah, okay. Well, as I tune into him, you know, and I have a sense of him, my feeling is it's the sense of he just wants you to know that he is around you, and it's almost as though you must... Are you looking at moving or something?
Well,
are you thinking about moving house?
I did move. I just moved here. It's going to be a year in December. Hopefully I won't have to move again.
Okay. No. Well, I think the feeling I'm getting, because it's like I have his hands on my shoulders, and it's the feeling of you are safe where you are. It's a bit like stay put, you know, and that's why it was just this feeling that, you know, very, very strong energy with your husband. And my feeling is he would have been someone that loved entertaining, that loved being around lots of people, and that there was a very wide circle around him. Were there issues around his lungs as well?
Say it again, please.
Did he have issues around his lungs? Hello.
We have a bad
Sorry, it's a very bad line, isn't it? Look, message from your husband, very much that he's around you. It's about staying put where you are, feeling safe where you are. And really it's about nurturing yourself now. You know, my sense is he wants you to really rest. I feel as though you've probably been doing too much, because the feeling is I want to wrap you up in cotton wool. I want you to take time out. I want you to sort of lift your feet up, and just this very strong presence with him, of him being with you. Now,
that's wonderful.
There is a message about peace though, about, so I'm not sure if there's been any trouble in the family, but it's a little bit like he's passing me the peace pipe. Have you heard of that expression?
Say it again.
Yeah, there's an expression where we pass the peace pipe. So it's as though I'm sensing from him that he wants you to be at peace with everything that's happening. Peace, you know, P-E-A-C-E. It's a very bad line. I do apologise.
Yes.
I think Dave. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if there's been any discordance in the family or anything like that, but he really is passing me this sign of, you know, it's time to make peace with things.
Okay. I understand that.
Do you understand that? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
because it feels that this is something that's been taken. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it feels like your phone is having issues, Yolanda, so I'm feeling that we might have to go to the next call. I'm really sorry, but it's really cutting in and out. So I think Dave, my producer,
I know. We have a
is going to...
But thank you very much. Thank you for the message.
It is my pleasure. And look, the big thing I would say to you is just, that's okay. It's about being strong, making peace and just knowing that he's around you. It feels a lot like let go, let go, let go. So I wish you well.
That makes me feel good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, having a few connection issues here today, which is sometimes what we have to deal with on live radio. So now I've got Priscilla in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hi, Priscilla. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, well, thank you. A lot of static on our line today, but we will do our best. So how can I help you today?
Okay, I have a question about a relationship that I am in for about 7 months, and it's a long-distance relationship.
Yeah.
So I want to know what the future holds for us.
Okay, okay. Okay, now Priscilla, what's your date of birth?
My date of birth is December 21st, 83.
Yeah. Okay. 1983. Sorry, I won't be a minute. Okay, well, when I look at the energy of the relationship, so my feeling is there are women telling you that this isn't a good relationship. Do you understand that?
A woman?
Yeah, it feels like either your friends or I feel like there are women talking to you that potentially it's as though it's people letting you know that it's not a good relationship. Are you having a lot of people around you in your ear?
No, people are just afraid because we are in different countries. So, not that he's a bad person.
Sorry? No. No, okay. Just the fact that he's a long way away, because it just feels as though there's a lot of interference going on within the relationship. So let me just see where it's going. Okay. I'm just trying to tune in for a little bit. Takes me a while sometimes. So I'm just going to talk for a little minute as I see where it goes. What's his name, Priscilla?
Louis.
Louis?
Yes,
okay.
Louis.
Yeah, okay. Lee. Okay, sorry. So Lee. Priscilla and Lee. So let me look at that. Where am I going with this? Yeah, my feeling is, does he want to come over to you? Is he wanting to move closer to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, the feeling I have is that there is this energy of him wanting to come and to live potentially closer with you. And obviously, you know, it's about the feeling I get with it is that it's really important to have really strong boundaries within this relationship. And have you actually met at this point?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Have you met this person? Have you met with Lee? Have you physically been with him?
Yes, many times.
Yeah, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, you know, the thing I'm seeing is it's as though he's going to come over from wherever he is, and it feels as though he's going to want to come to the United States and to live over here with you or over there with you. So, you know, it's as though there is a lot of paperwork there to be done, but also it feels as though you must be going to go and see him soon. Have you already got some plans to travel to see him?
Yeah, I go there sometimes, but he's coming here next. But I just don't want to wait too long. That's it. That's why I'm wondering if it's going to work really and how long it's going to take.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the whole thing is with the relationship, when I look at it, was I have to see where the energy is with both of you. And in a way, it's a bit difficult. I'm finding it difficult to tune in to you both, so I'm not sure why that is at the moment. So I just need to... So it feels like you've got cold feet, because my feet have gone very cold. So I'm feeling as though you're questioning the relationship, and you're questioning everything about it. And it's really, you know, the relationship has got potential to succeed and to be something that happens, you know, and it's as though you don't want to appear too eager. So I feel like you just have to go for it, you know, you just have to be in that space of you know, my sense is it will work out, and at the moment you feel like you're hanging around, you feel like you're in that space where, you know, it's not happening the way you want it to, but it will. So, you know, my sense is that there will be this joining, that he will come over to where you are, and that there will be, I feel like it's, you know, that you potentially are going to get into a long-term relationship with him, even marriage. So this is something that you have to just question yourself at the moment. You know, what's the energy around why you're doubting? Because I do feel cold feet. Now, is that with you, or is it with him?
Right now, no. He's in Canada.
No? Okay. Yeah. But you understand that expression, cold feet, means I'm doubting things.
Okay. So I just have another quick question.
But that feels like, I'm just saying, you know. Yeah?
Okay,
yeah?
My other question is, I live by myself, and maybe a week or two, I had like a sign, lights turning on, so I feel like someone's trying to reach out to me. Do you see anyone trying to reach to me?
Okay. Okay. So it feels, if anything, like grandmother in the spirit world, and I feel like she's got dark hair, and potentially, have you got a lady in spirit that's either got a Spanish or a Hispanic kind of background?
Yes.
Yeah, because I do feel it's woman in spirit, feels like your grandmother, and I feel like that she's, again, it's about showing you the light. You know, I feel like she's just wanting to come through and just show you that there is a clear path ahead. Because it feels like there must have been a lot of uncertainty around you at the moment. You know, and obviously in this relationship situation you're uncertain about where things are going. But I feel she's just wanting to get your attention, just to let you know that there is, you know, there is a clear path ahead. And do you live somewhere where there are a lot of mountains, or it's a very open area?
Yes.
Yeah, because like she wants to sort of say, you know, go outside, really start to look at yourself and look at how much you've grown, because I feel like there's still things from when you were at school. So did she pass when you were at school? Still at college or school?
Well, one of my grandmother, I didn't met her. The other one's still alive.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just being very drawn to this time in your life, that there's a lot of things that you're reflecting on at the moment, and this is now about knowing that you can, you know, that life's going to be very different to what it was for you then. I feel that there was potential sadness at that time in your life, about 13. Feels like the age of 13, there was a lot of sadness there, and that at this time now, as you're going forward, she just wants you to know that there is a big shift coming and a big change, and really it's just about now, you know, clearing out. I feel like you have to clear out, and I'm not sure whether you've been suffering a little bit with, has there been any depression around you, Priscilla?
Yeah, I live in the United States by myself, so sometimes I struggle with depression, yeah, being lonely.
Yeah, yeah, because the whole energy is even about maybe even potentially just clearing your house, because it's as though I want to put some beautiful, let some light in, do some smudging, do some saging, you know, just clear out the energy in the house so that you can bring in a lot of brand new energy. And you know, it's really about trusting in relationship, because I feel that in relationship you've been hurt a bit in the past, so this is really about bringing trust in. Now if I look at I'm just going to do a little reading on your numbers as well, because you're in a number 7 year numerologically, and a 7 year is all about where you question yourself or what your purpose is. So you must be do you work as a nurse or in some sort of healing capacity?
No.
Okay. Well, you've certainly got that energy of someone who is very much a healer or helps other people. And do you work with children?
No, I work at the bank.
No. Okay. It's very different then to what I'm seeing, because it feels that you're very much someone that can help and that has got that energy. But look, honestly, so this year I feel that you will question yourself a lot about what your life purpose is. So know that if you wanted a change from that profession, and I feel that you are someone that's searching and looking for a bit more, that you know that you have the internal capacity to work with healing, to help in that kind of area. What else? So your life is all about learning how to give and take, and all about balance. So I feel that the energy of this relationship is really going to help you become stronger. You have to really learn to stand on your own 2 feet as well, and to be very mindful that you don't give away too much of your power. I drew beautiful cards for you before the reading. So one of them is this, maybe you can come back and look at it on the video. I drew some beautiful cards for you before the reading. And one of the cards from my Inner Child Tarot is the Mother Goose card. And what that means is that you have it all, you know, that everything is there, all the hard work is paying off. So with your work, would I be right that you feel a bit unhappy with your work?
No, I just got a promotion at work.
But are you fulfilled there? Do you feel like it's something you enjoy?
I feel, I'm sorry?
Sorry?
What was your question?
Oh, it's okay. Look, my sense was, in a way, where you're at with your work, it's to know that everything is coming, you know, that this is saying you've got all of the things that you need, everything is working out well. Even though you feel like things are stuck at the moment, it's just to know that as you go forward, you can have the things you want. I feel like your partnerly coming to live with you, and I feel as though you know, how old are you? Do you have children as well, Priscilla, already?
No, I can't wait to have one.
Okay. Sorry?
I don't have it, but I can't wait to have one.
Yeah, because again, so this is, I know the images I see are real, I just have to work it out, because I know this is a big thing, and I know that, you know, there is child waiting for you. So look, you know, I wish you luck with it all, and I'm going to have to finish the reading mainly because there's some really bad energy on the line, which is from my end. It's a very difficult connection here today, so I'm probably just going to have to talk a little bit about some other stuff, because I'm really finding it difficult to connect here and communicate. But look, wishing you well, and yeah, I think just stay with it. The relationship will work. I don't feel it will be very long until you're together, and I do feel that the child energy is just waiting to come in. So you have to really stay focused on what you want, and give the house a bit of a clear out, you know, and really just give yourself a bit of a pat on the back for all the things you're doing. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
That's okay. Yeah, you too. Have a good night. Wow, so, yeah, I've got to talk now for 5 minutes probably, which is what I'm going to do. I can't really predict what's going to happen, but I know from my end here, I've got a really bad connection. It's a lot of static in my ears. So again, this is the time where we have to find the gold and say, well, so maybe I'm being called to do something a bit different this week than what I would normally do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what the energy is around the place for the coming week. And if I look forward to the coming week and say, okay, what would Spirit want to bring forward? I think it's about saying it's time for everybody to sort of light their own light, you know, to celebrate. I feel like it's a really big time of celebration. I'm going to the Northern Hemisphere, which is London, and we're going into the summer there in the spring. Well, I think it's spring. But it's really about celebrating and really getting back to an energy of faith. So having faith in yourself, having faith in what you do, and even learning how to tune into yourself so that you can get those answers that you're looking for. You know, I just spent the other night working with some ladies about the law of attraction and how they could bring into their lives and manifest what they want. So what I realised is that not a lot of people know how to do that. And one of the things you have to learn with the law of attraction is that you have to have an intention, and you have to be willing to visualise what it is that you want. And then you have to be able to really know what it feels like to have it. So I just invite you to think about the last time you celebrated any success that you had. Because when you celebrate, there is a different energy in your body, and your body opens up and your energy opens up, so that when you're thinking about what you want to manifest in your life, whether it's a relationship or a new job, you have to think about how it would feel to have that in your life. Because when you focus on the feeling, you can bring it closer towards you. You know, when we're trying to manifest something, sometimes we haven't had it before. So you might want to manifest a great relationship and you've never had one before. So you have to start to learn what it feels like to feel happy. And how do you do that? By celebrating as often as you can every kind of success that you have, or every, you know, even going outside and looking at nature and saying, wow, that's beautiful. I feel really good when I'm in nature. And really letting your body know it's okay to feel good. And I think when you do this kind of thing, you'll notice that it's much easier for you to tune in and to bring the feeling of something close to you. So my message for this week is that if you want to manifest a better relationship or something in your life, you need to have a great intention. You need to write it down, be clear on what you want. Then you need to look at the feeling. What would it feel like if I had that? And also imagine what it would be like. So visualize what it would be like to be in the relationship that you would love to have. So, you know, you're got your intention, you're thinking about it, and you're visualizing it, and you're feeling it. And then you have to be in gratitude for all of the things in your life that you already do have. So if you're looking for love, you have to look at all the other places where you have love in your life. And if you're being grateful for all the love that you have, you'll find that you'll get more and more. So even just by saying thank you. And you know, when you write your intentions to the universe, when you want to manifest something, just say thank you for it in advance. So, you know, things like thank you for my great relationships, thank you for my great connection, thank you for my ability to just think of something to talk about when everything's going wrong, potentially on the show. So look, I'm really hoping that I've touched a nerve with some of you there. Love to hear your comments or your feedback. And also to know that at SusanKennedyMedium.com, which is my website, I've got an amazing online relationship course which would help you tune into relationships. It helps you learn how to be in relationship. And I've also got my Psychic Awakening course, which is there to help you tune in, to learn how to interpret those symbols and signs that you see, and to be able to just be a better version of you. So I'm wishing you well, wishing you a great week. I won't be back on air now for another couple of weeks as I go off to the United Kingdom for those 2 weeks. So I wish you well, and I look forward to seeing you again here the end of June. Thanks again, and have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Sweetheart, think about your future. Jeff over there didn't just look at him. He saved up, bought a house, he's got a beautiful wife, they even had a fancy pants destination wedding, and oh, they had a baby! Ah! Smart and handsome, ooh la la. Now, I've been saving these frames for pictures of my future grandbabies for years. And the shopping sprees on organic clothing and telephone cases is not helping you save for a family. Oh, gracious! Look at that! He's a model! Oh. I bet you he's putting all that money right into a 401k or his baby's college fund. And his teeth are so straight. See how good saving can look at feedthepig.org. Feed the pig.
Radio show. Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone had a great week. I do know some of you were up against a few challenges last week. I trust you handled them with patience, understanding, and awareness. We are in the process of purging all that no longer serves us, and we're on a mission to create harmony within. It's not an easy mission, but it's an imperative one. Humanity as a whole must shift to a space of neutrality and unhook from the lower, denser energies that only feed the victim mentality and keep us trapped from knowing the truth and who we are individually and collectively. So it's super important to, just try to handle those moments that are challenging, and when we have these emotions that come up that feel super stressful and we feel attacked from all sides. It's just important to try to stay grounded and just bring awareness to the situation versus being emotionally reactive and emotionally explosive. All these challenges, there's a higher purpose to your perceived suffering. It's to help you become aware of yourself. So stay strong and know nothing you're experiencing is in vain. Just allow things to unfold naturally and come up and out. And remember to be conscious of your choices. So really, when you're making choices, make sure that you're aligning with love, compassion, understanding. So pay attention to that. And catch when you're connecting with energies and choices that are aligned based off of fear and hatred and blame. So, it's a very easy gauge. You know what feels good and you know what feels bad. So when you're making choices, try to go with the ones that feel good. For any new viewers and listeners, each week I started doing predictions for the week ahead, which runs from this Thursday to next Thursday. I'll be predicting what you may experience in your day-to-day life. Topics will include what you can expect as a general overall theme for the week, and then specific areas in love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. I'll also be sharing energetically during the moment of Zen if I don't talk too much and go over. But if we miss the moment of Zen, I always ask your guides and my guides to give you a loving blast overnight so that you don't miss out on any energetic work. And I'll also be taking a live caller for a free psychic reading. Not all predictions will apply specifically to you. Obviously, this is a general reading. There's a lot of energies out there. I have to kind of pull things from the ethers and pick and choose what I kind of feel will be going on. So again, not everything will apply to you. Some of it may, all of it may, none of it may. It really is just dependent on your journey and what's going on with you. So overall though, I do feel like most people will be experiencing at least one or two of the things that are going on. I had some positive feedback last week, and so there were plenty of people that were experiencing those predictions. Tonight is the first night I'm giving messages from crossed over loved ones for listeners and viewers who subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's important that you subscribe to the YouTube channel because I was trying to figure out a way that I could limit what souls are coming to talk to me. When you open yourself up like that, then you get lots and lots of souls that want to hang out, they want to talk to you, or they want to annoy you and harass you as well. So the way that I could limit that was having actual listeners and viewers subscribe to the channel. Then I can be specific when I send out the requests for crossed over loved ones with messages. So I'm going to give that a shot tonight and see if anybody comes through for the people that have subscribed since last week. In honor of upcoming Father's Day next Sunday here in the U.S., I'm offering a 20% discount on all my services through the end of the month. If you'd like to book an appointment with me, you can call or text me at 407-374-3133, or you can email me at askrebeccatoday@gmail.com. And you know, if you just want more information about my services and what I do, feel free to check out my website. All right, so on to what we can expect for the week ahead. So the general theme this week points to happiness, success, and things in general will be going and or getting better. It's going to be like an encouraging and uplifting week for most of you. Really all of you, it just will manifest itself in different ways. So you'll have feelings of hope and pride, and some of you will have to experience this with some challenges, but nothing that you can't handle. And in order to get to happiness and success, you have to recognize and become aware of your unhappiness and failures. So expect that to come to light for some of you. When it does, try not to dwell. It really is just about you recognizing that you're unhappy and you've had some failures in life, but that doesn't mean anything bad or negative about you. It just, you know, it's not meant for you to beat yourself up. It's just meant for you to acknowledge it, be aware of it, and then you can start making different choices to align more with what it is that you want out of life. Those of you that have already realized your unhappiness and your failures and you've been working through things, you'll be in a position where I think you'll find yourself helping those that are less fortunate than yourselves. I also feel like you can expect the best to happen, you know, and I mean, best could be, it's all relative, you know, it's all a matter of perception, but overall I feel like you can expect really good things coming. And all of you pay attention to your spiritual abundance, too, not just your material abundance. The key this week and overall in life in general is really about balance and neutrality. It's really about being neutral, so you're not having extreme highs of pleasure and, you know, the physical like hunger of trying to fulfill like these joys, and then you don't want to all of them, but again, it's okay. You know, you can agree to disagree in a respectful manner, and again, it's about finding what is right within you, and it's crucial that you do that. Some of you this week can expect a change for the better in pay and your circumstances at work. So some of you, you know, may have been stuck doing like some crappy work that you're just done over with. And this upcoming week, that's going to lift, and you'll be doing something that you enjoy a lot more. And a lot of you will also maybe see an increase in pay in some way. So I feel like in the work arena, there'll be lots to be grateful for some of you. Those of you that are looking for a job or looking for work, this week could be a really nice surprise for you. I feel like there's a better job coming your way than what you even could have thought of or hoped was possible. The key is really for you to stay open and stay positive and be in a space of receiving. I do feel like that will happen for a lot of you. Those of you that won't actually receive the job offer, I feel like you'll definitely have some sort of prospects, and so whether it's, you know, you're getting phone calls back or you're booking what do you call it, job interviews, things like that will come your way. So just stay open and don't give up. It's coming. You got this. All right, on to love. Those of you that are in committed relationships, so for all you lovers in love, you can expect the relationship to raise to a new level of intimacy and joy. Others of you will be getting weary of the same old within your relationships. Those of you that are having some struggles, I do feel like you may be daydreaming a lot this week about leaving, thinking about breaking up with your significant other, or switching up your routine in some way. I do feel like you may even stir up some trouble. Some of you, I kind of feel, may even decide that you're going to have an affair. And then there will be those of you that will just be pushing to just fight and argue, and it'll happen fast and quick. You're going to be in the emotions. You're going to be reactive. So I just want to caution you that before you just, self-sabotage and just go off the deep end with whatever's going on with you internally, I feel like take a deep breath, take a step back, and I want you to actually speak up and express how you feel. Find your voice and let your partner know that you're feeling unhappy and you're feeling bored, but do it without projecting blame. You don't need to say, hey, you make me miserable or you make me unhappy. It takes two to tango. So, just a simple, I'm feeling unhappy, let's come up with a solution and compromise that works for best of you. So just open up and speak to each other, and I feel like if you can do that, if you can be aware of what's happening with you emotionally, then I definitely feel like there's things that could work work for improvement in your relationship. If you stay in the energy of just kind of losing your cool and freaking out and really just finally letting out all that pent-up frustration and anger you've been feeling, I do feel like this would be the beginning of the end. So, really think about what you're doing before you just react. Those of you that are single and you're looking for love, basically kind of what I was feeling is, for all you lovers of love, this week someone new, I feel, who has like the potential to like rock your world and connect with you in a deep and meaningful way, just might pop up in your reality. But again, this is for people that, kind of have worked on their insecurities and their baggage and feeling more confident, and they're open to actually date and receive that sort of love in their lives. I feel like there's definitely a good possibility that this person will pop up into your reality this week. And if he doesn't, or she, excuse me, if he or she doesn't pop up this week, I do feel like you're going to have signs. So I feel like it'll be a feeling and and you might just see some signs that you're on the right track, that this type of relationship is coming your way. So definitely get out there and make sure you're enjoying your life, because that has a lot to do with it. Now, for those of you who are in love with love, well, unless you're open to actually receiving love, I feel like this week you can expect to find yourself still trying to maneuver around your fears and working through maybe some insecurities. I feel like maybe they will come to the forefront where you realize all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm not going out and meeting new people or doing things because I'm too worried about, what people will think about my arms, or, just something like that. I feel like you're going to realize what it is that is keeping you limited and keeping you stuck at home, instead of actually getting out there and shaking it up and, having fun and just meeting all sorts of new people and eventually finding the love that you're wanting. Let's see, finances. This week, I feel some of you will be evaluating your finances and realize that you're rich in other ways besides just money. I feel like you'll realize, you know what, I'm abundant in my health, in my family, and I just feel like you'll be in a space of appreciation and will really kind of, again, have a realization that there's more to life than just material things. Now, for some of you, I feel like money matters will be improving. You're shifting into, some of you are shifting into a new financial cycle that will continue to grow. So work hard, you will be rewarded, and sharing is key too. Now, sharing doesn't mean you give your last penny or all of the clothes off of your back. Sharing means that you're able to, you know, if you got an extra couple bucks and you can help somebody out, then help them out, because when you give, you receive. So just kind of remember that, and make sure when you do decide to share or give that you're giving from a space of love and not because you're expecting to receive something in return. It won't work in your favor. This week, some of you, I feel like, are actually going to go out and seek financial advice from a professional to help you plan for your future, to help you, you know, whether you're planning for the future to just you save up money for something or for a house or for retirement. I do feel like some of you may be just looking to help create a budget and manage your money better. And then there's those of you that I feel like are really going to seek out investments, whether it's investments in properties or investments in, you know, stock market or bonds or something. I feel like that will be happening for some of you. For all of you, this is not the week to gamble with your money. So, you know, I feel like the energy just doesn't feel good for it. I feel like if you gamble, most likely it's not going to pay off. And even something as simple as scratch-offs. Don't waste your money. Let's see what next week looks like. And it's definitely not the week to take chances on doing anything unusual, like investing in unusual bonds and stocks and, you know, that sort of market thing. So just pay attention, and, you know, what's another week to make investments. So be smart about it. Let's see, health. I feel some of you will be switching up your typical health routine this week, especially those of you that are rigid, those of you that are like stuck in this routine where you're completely inflexible, like you do the same routine every morning when it comes to your health, or you're doing the same exercising, or like you have to go to the gym or whatever. So those of you that are rigid in your approach, I feel like there will be some switching it up. Like you're going to be open to trying a different way or incorporating something new, or and if you don't, I feel like that's going to be forced upon you. So I feel like if you're not open to switching things up, you might find yourself with a cold or something, or a hurt back, and you'll be on the couch, which will totally shake up your routine. Let's see. Oh, some of you that have had health challenges for a while, I feel like you guys might actually go out and try something esoteric. So I feel like maybe you're going to try some sort of, you know, healing massage or acupuncture or energy work, or maybe just even go get another second opinion. So again, like if you've been feeling off for a while, again, if it's something serious, go to the doctor. But if you just feel like you've had a kink in your neck, and, you know, go get a massage, work that out. Some of you will be actually very conscious of your diet all of a sudden, I feel. So I feel like some of you will be cutting back on processed foods and start a healthier diet. Others, I feel, are going to decide they're cutting back on substances. So to me, that feels like some of you might decide you're going to quit smoking or cut back on smoking. Some of you might decide you're going to not do drugs. Some of you might decide to cut back on alcohol. So, you know, again, there's a switch up in what you're doing. And then there's those of you that will be just feeling full of vitality and hope and optimism about the future. And I do feel all of you will become more aware of your thoughts and whether they're positive or negative. So if you catch yourself thinking negatively, just stop, catch your breath, and try to replace the negative thoughts with some positive thoughts. I feel like, you know, again, this week is a lot about awareness. Spirituality, a group of you will be feeling very peaceful and happy. Your self-esteem will be higher than normal, and some of you will actually mentor or share some spiritual insights that you've learned with others this week. Some of you will be the ones that are actually reaching out for spiritual insight to figure out where to begin on actually benefiting from self-realization and self-actualization through meditation and things like that. So that wraps up this week's predictions. I hope everyone has a great week ahead. I hope with a little forewarning you can navigate the week a little better and be patient with yourself and others. And if anything comes up for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. As usual, I have gone over. I only have 5 minutes left, so I'm not going to do the moment of Zen. And for a crossed over loved one, I'm getting the name Bob. I am not certain if Bob is the person, you know, Bob is trying to reach out to someone, or he's trying to reach out to Bob, but this is a male, and he is, I would say, medium height. He's round. He kind of reminds me of maybe, I would say like a solid. He's a solid individual. He has a balding on top, or short around, you know, just hair around the sides, and he, you know, it's weird. He kind of reminds me of Danny DeVito, but taller and, you know, a little larger. But he feels like he really was into pasta for sure, and spaghetti, and his message is that he's been leaving signs. He's been leaving signs in your home, and I feel like he's just been in all the rooms in the house. And so if you've been having weird experiences in your house, like, I feel like he's saying he's been doing a little bit of everything, like hiding stuff, lights flickering, maybe weird noises. I feel like he's been touching people at night while they're sleeping. Or even sometimes like maybe like a feeling of a cold spot. And I even feel like he's had the TV maybe pop up, and he's just trying to let you know he's around and he's not going anywhere. And he's also saying sorry. I'm not sure what he's apologizing for. He's not really getting into detail, but he is apologizing. And he says, you know, I never really said I love you, but I love you. And that's the extent of his message. So I hope that makes sense to someone. I really do. And if it does, it would be awesome if you let me know. Just to validate it a little bit, that would be fantastic. So I only have 2 minutes left. So I feel like we should do a moment of Zen really quickly, so that we can open up ourselves with our guides to help us basically prepare for the week ahead, and that we can just really have them help us navigate for our highest good. So let's begin by closing your eyes, open your palms, tell yourself you're open to receive, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, and then just breathe normally, and I'm going to send some energy, and your guides and angels will as well. right. You can go ahead and open your eyes. That's all the time we have for tonight. I'd like to apologize to the caller that I didn't get to. I'll get better at navigating this time stuff. And, thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to connecting with you next week. If you'd like to book a session with me or contact me for anything, feel free to reach out to me at askRebeccaToday@gmail, or you can call or text 407-374-3133. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Good night.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority. Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Hi, I'm Tracy, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Well, hello everyone, it's Gail Moffat here again, and you can find me, there's lots of ways you can find me in fact. Firstly, I've got a website which is gailmoffat.com, and that's GailMoffat, so gailmoffat.com. The second is that you can find me on Facebook. There's Gail Moffat, Spiritual Medium and Teacher, and also Gail Moffat, there's another site. So either way you can find me on Facebook or through my website. And the other thing that I was wanting to tell you is that I am coming to North Carolina, and I'm going to be doing quite a big show, and so I'm hoping that sort of lots of you listeners, if you live locally, are able to come and see me. It's in St. James's, and if you go onto my Facebook page, all the details are there, which will show you the address, how much it's going to be to get in, and all sorts of things like that. It's going to be an amazing, amazing evening, and you're going to be able to see real English mediumship, which is going to be fantastic. Now, let's get on to a more spiritual note. I was thinking today about the concept of a soulmate, and we often talk about the idea of a soulmate, but I think that when we look at the concept of a soulmate, the whole idea of a soul mate goes further than just one person that can be in our lives. You see, with a soulmate is part of a soul group. In fact, we come to this earth plane within a group, and part of our group is still in the spirit world, and part of our group is here. But that group is important to us because it's what keeps us alive, and there's a thread that runs through all of us. And as I'm talking about this thread, Spirit are actually showing me this silver thread that runs through all of us. So we're all very, very interconnected. And I know that when you see somebody or meet somebody that is connected to you within that soul group, you'll feel really particularly drawn to them for some reason. And this is really important because often we meet people and there's nothing there, nothing that sort of really entices us to be in their lives. And then there are other people that for some reason we just find them irresistible. We have to be near them or connected to them or around them in some way. And this is because they are part of our soul group. And a soul connection is very, very important in our lives. And there will be many reasons why they've come into our lives at this particular point in time. It may be that we learn something from them, or they give something to us. It may be that they have to be in our lives for a whole lifetime, like family members. Or it may be that they just come in for a moment, or they come in for a large section of our life. It can be all sorts of things. But the point is that there is a reason that they are around us in our lives. If you think about it, we can't do this on our own, can we? We cannot do this on our own. And the reason why we can't do it, we just can't. We can't do it on our own. We need that help and that support, not only from people within our soul group, but from higher spirit beings that are around us. And these higher spirit beings are our guides. And for some of us, if we're mediumistically inclined, we will sense our guides around us. But those who are not mediumistically inclined, we perhaps won't sense them, but they're there all right. They're there nudging us or suggesting things to us. And I mean, have you ever, any of you perhaps, you may understand this, but some of you may understand where you just get that feeling, that gut feeling that you should do something in some way. And I always think this is spirit sort of nudging us along the way, because there is a path that we have to follow in our lives, and that path is important to us, because if we don't follow that path, then we don't have an opportunity to be the best that we possibly can be, because we have to grow within ourselves. And that's what being part of a soul group, having guides around us, is all about. And I know that's quite short and simple explanation, but we do have some wonderful callers that are calling in. And I know that Jasmine in New Zealand is ready. Are you there, Jasmine?
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
Hello, Jasmine.
Hello.
How are you? And whereabouts in New Zealand are you from?
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Okay. Is that in...
Hamilton.
Which island is that in?
In the North Island.
Did you say Hamilton?
Yes.
There's a little bit of delay, isn't there? So how can I help you?
Pardon me?
How can I help you?
How will the court case go with getting my baby back? Will she be home with me this year?
Right. Let's have a look at this. Court cases are, quite sort of difficult to do. Not from a spiritual point of view, but sort of discussing legal stuff is sometimes difficult to do. But I'll look at it as best as I can for you. Now, I know that as I'm connecting to my guide, he's suggesting that this is something that has gone on for some time, and he says it's gone on far too long. In fact, he's saying it's almost like it's being how's he saying this? It's like he's not impressed with how things has happened for you. Would you understand why he would feel like that?
Yeah.
You do? Good. And you understand it's gone on far too long. Because he says, he's saying to me that you should have had your baby back a long time ago. And it's almost as though the authorities have nitpicked about things. They've got involved with things and they've really behaved in a it's sort of like they've held back and it's almost as though my guide is also saying to me, you've proved yourself time and time again and they haven't listened to you. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
And he's saying he's such a sweet man, my guide. He's saying to me, I can assure you that it's only a matter of time before you have your baby back. This is something that has to happen for the progression not only of your child but of you. You have to have your child back with you, and this will happen. I'm being told that now timing is always a little bit difficult, because as I'm sure you probably know that the spirit world don't have timing, but I almost want to say within the next 6 to 9 months you will be having your baby back.
Okay.
And I know that, and I want to stress the word within. So there's no, it could be sort of in a month's time or something like that. But I know that you will be having your child back, and because this whole situation is absolutely coming to an end. It's gone on. He keeps on stressing this. It has gone on far too long, and it's almost like it's an unnecessary behaviour that has taken place. Unnecessary. It's unnecessary that you were separated from your child, and it shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have happened, he's saying. Is that all making sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you.
Is there any other question you'd like to ask?
The man I have love with my heart, does he love me too, and will he apologise and come back? If so, when?
The problem that you've got with this man is that he is he tends to put himself first, and gets caught up in himself and his. I just feel a very sort of selfish man, and I feel that you're very different from him, because I feel that you are someone that would be that gives a lot and gives unconditional love, but he is what's best for him is what I want to say when I link into this situation. I feel very selfish, and I feel also that he's hurt you very, very badly, because not only has he hurt you from pulling away from you, that I feel that he's done things that in a way has meant that I feel that you'll have difficulty in having that trust for other men, and I know that I'm not sure if you're going to have a chance to have him back. What I sense with him is that if you were to have a chance to have him back, I get the sense that it just doesn't feel like it's going to happen in the way that you would want, because I feel that there's something's going to crop up with you and him that's going to show his colours again and show his true colours. And I get the feeling that you're going to reach a point where it's like enough's enough, and you're drawing a line, somebody told me this expression, draw a line in the sand, which is mean I've had enough, and I just get this feeling that you're going to reach that point, because I think he's somebody that has the potential to mess you around a bit and will be, is not entirely, has your best interests at heart. It's all about him. And I feel that and I can see lots of tears as well, because I feel that he's hurt you extremely, quite a lot. But I just think that you're the one that's going to be more, inclined to turn around and say, I can't do this anymore. I just feel that you're going to walk away from him, if anything. How does that feel for you?
Yeah. That's all right now. Yeah.
Does that sound like his personality as well?
Pardon me?
Does that sound like his personality as well?
Yes. He just seems very selfish and very self-centered.
Yeah. And I just feel that you're going to it's going to come to the point where you're going to actually say, I'm not interested. I don't want you anymore. Enough's enough. But what's really interesting more than anything is you will get your baby back. And my guide is actually saying to me that he will personally assist you over the coming months in the pursuit of getting your child back, and will be guiding you to that process, to helping you do everything that is needed and required to get your baby back. So he's going to be with you a lot. His name's Arthur and he's a monk. So if you are able to ever see or sense someone around, that'll be him. So he often does that with people I do readings for, where he's compassionate about their circumstances, and I do sense very much from him. He feels very compassionate towards you about your circumstances, and I know that he's going to be in your life over the next 6 to 9 months, where he will be assisting you in all that's required in order to achieve the end result, of which is be reunited with your child.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. You're very lucky, because he doesn't do that for everyone. But anyway, you're very lucky, and it's going to be great, because this should never have happened. You'll have your baby back. But thank you for calling in. I know that I've got another caller waiting, but good luck with everything. And do find me on Facebook and let me know how things come along for you. All right. Thank you, Jasmine. Right. Okay. Now, I believe we have Deborah in, I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's Pennsylvania.
How you feel?
Deborah, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Can you hear me? Good, I can hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. It's exciting, isn't it? I can feel your excitement. So
I am unexcited.
Yeah, I can feel it. Now, I know that, well, first of all, I'm a medium, so I can connect to loved ones in the spirit world, or I can look at what's aspects of something that's going on in your life. Is there a particular way that you'd like me to work?
Yeah, what do you see, like, relationship-wise for me coming up?
And are you in a relationship now?
No. I've been divorced for, like, quite a few years.
Right. Yeah, I know that feeling.
I haven't really been looking, but I'm getting to that point now.
Yeah, yeah. I know that feeling as well. Right, now, the thing that I'm getting around you is that actually this has been a really, really important time for you, because I think you've grown beyond all recognition from the time that you split up from your marriage to now. It's almost like you're a different person. It's like I want to go 180 degrees, turn around, and there you are. Because I think you've come a long way since you split up from your marriage. And I know that when I look at you, you've come along, you've had an incredible journey and done really well, is what my guide's saying. He says that he's really impressed with, I suppose the word I want to say, and it's not to say that you were immature before, but it's your maturity in the way that you've handled things, the things that you've had to deal with along the way, and the difficulties that you've had to come across, because it hasn't been all plain sailing for you. In fact, it's been quite tough at times, because I feel like I'm juggling many balls in the air, trying to deal with everything that needs to be dealt with. But I know that it's like this inner strength that's just risen up within you and made you such a strong, sensible, mature, and I don't mean mature as in old, but mature as in wise, woman. And, you know, my guide Arthur just wants to congratulate you on how far you've come since the marriage.
Well, thank you so much.
He's saying to me that you've been thinking for some time that it would be nice to be in a relationship, and I know that your heart and your mind has been going out to that idea, and that idea has been picked up from the spirit world, and he's just saying to me that it's almost as though now is not the right time. But he says to me that you won't be on your own for the rest of your life. That's for sure. It's almost as though you've still got a little bit more time on your own that needs to be done. And I feel that because I feel that there are still some responsibilities around you. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if you're looking at 2 to 3 years from now, you will start to be getting involved in a relationship with somebody and moving forward in a really nice way. And I'm actually, oh gosh, this is nice. Oh, how lovely. I've just been, my guide has just shown me your hand, and I'm to put a ring on your hand, so I know that one day you'll be married again too, that you will have marriage, and this is something that's he's saying that this is going to be a very special relationship that you will move into. And this relationship is, it's interesting because right at the beginning of the show, I don't know if you were listening, I was talking about soul connections. This is going to be a deep soul connection. And this is going to be, he's also saying a long-lasting relationship that will take you into, you know, for the rest of your life. And also marriage. Oh, how nice. That's nice, because you've been waiting a long time. You've been on your own a long time. But he's just saying to me that in a way, although you've been on your own, you will look back at this time with great fondness, because it's been tough, but very, very rewarding as well, because you've grown so much and achieved so much. And he's just congratulating you in how you've dealt. Pardon?
Hello?
Sorry, I didn't catch. Yeah, what did you just say?
I just said it was a time of learning for me.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
It was very... Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. It was very much a time of learning, and you, yeah, he's just congratulating you on that. And I know that I think what's amazing is that I can actually see marriage as well, you know, for you, and a long-term relationship. It's just not yet. But then, you know, I always think that, you know, what Arthur is saying to me, he's saying, you know, sometimes if we have to wait a little while, it's worth waiting for. Would you not agree?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I do. Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's been lovely to talk to you, and I hope that you've enjoyed your reading. And I know that we're yeah. So he's just bringing my attention back to the ring. It's going to be a nice ring you've got. It's going to I feel like it's quite a nice ring. And he's still talking. Sorry, I thought I'd come to the end. Sorry, but he just wants to say about this man that you're going to meet. I feel I'm hearing the word solid, grounded, well financed. It's like hasn't got sort of any of those issues. He can be a little bit serious, but Arthur is saying that doesn't matter, because the important thing for you is to have a solid, secure base, and I think it's an aspect to someone's character that you will actually like.
Yes.
And so, yeah. So I think that's it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really good relationship. Have you got daughters?
Do I have daughters? Yes, I have 2.
Yes, I'm sensing daughters around you, because I know that they will really like him too, and there's going to be a good. It will slot in really nicely, because I think one of the problems with having another relationship is whether, you know, your children accept the person, and I very much think that they will.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Sorry.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
And we're at Mind Body Spirit Festival in Melbourne, Australia, and Melbourne. Anyway, we're here, and I'm here, and joined by the lovely Lauren Kelly, who is from White Light Publishing. Hi. So I'm on your stand today saying hello and doing some book signings of The Journey of a Light Worker. But we've also, with Lauren, you actually helped, I think, inspire Christy to have the strength to go ahead with this venture, which is White Light Publishing. And you certainly have. And you also do some charity stuff. Like, tell us about Sleep at the G.
I've done Sleep at the G 4 times now because I have a passion to help people experiencing homelessness, and Sleep at the G is a good way to almost experience homelessness, but in a safe environment.
So for our international viewers and listeners, the MCG in Melbourne is often referred to as the G, and so this is a great big football oval.
Yeah,
and so at the G,
stadium.
And so at the G, where were we all sleeping? Were we sleeping in seats or?
No, we sleep on the concourse where people walk around. So it's cold hard concrete, and they give you a cardboard mattress to sleep on, which is great, but
I can imagine that wouldn't help fibromyalgia very much.
No, it definitely doesn't help sciatica either.
Yeah, gosh. So with the sorts of things you've been doing, because you've been helping people out here in the community quite a lot, and so this was part of that. What other sorts of events and activities do you do to do with homelessness and with charities and things like that?
Yeah, well, with homelessness, when I can, I get time to support From Us to You Melbourne, which is a local group that go out and do provide food for the guys on the street. And I also run a page called Mouse's Enterprise, which is to share people who are doing the grassroots organisations like From Us to You Melbourne, Anonymous X, all of those guys, just to give them that little bit extra exposure around that. And also work with Education Earthquake Nepal to raise funds. We sponsor 4 kids in Nepal to help them get an education. So the government really don't do anything much over there. So
well, I don't think they've got many funds to do much with, do they?
Well, most of the funds go to the politicians. Sadly.
See, there you go.
Yeah, so outside money that comes in with the group that we work with goes directly to the school and directly to the children. So, and I've seen that firsthand. Because I went back there in September and spent time with the kids and saw the environment that they're now living in and the school which we're watching rebuild. So it's brilliant. We love it.
Beautiful. And so with the Journey of the Lightworker book, which you've written a chapter in, often people talk about light workers as healers and recycled and all these sorts of things. But you are actually a light worker as well, but you had a bit of trouble coming to terms with the idea of that.
Yeah, Christy had to convince me of that. She actually asked me to write a chapter in the book, and I'm like, why me? I'm not a light worker. I had that thing where if you're not a psychic, basically light workers are psychics are light workers. And Christy spoke to me about it, and daughter telling mum how things are, which is great. Christy spoke to me about that and explained the real definition of a light worker, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, yeah, I do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about your chapter?
My chapter is probably more about the work I do with homelessness and how I came to terms with being a light worker and what I do with people experiencing homelessness, and how I actually realised that we have homeless people in Melbourne. I had no idea that we had such a big problem, and I went to a rally and heard someone speak. The rally was for a homeless man that was in Melbourne, just across the road from here actually, and heard his sister speak, and it broke my heart that one, we have this big problem here and I didn't know about it. And then I just thought, well, what can I do? What can I do about it? And so and my chapter really tells a little bit about my journey through getting to know more about the homeless community and doing what I can just to make a little bit of a change for them. Because people have this thing where all homeless people are drug users, or all homeless people are old men that are alcoholics, and couldn't be further from the truth.
Correct.
So yeah, my journey is really to try and change the perception of people experiencing homelessness, and I try and always say people experiencing homelessness, not homeless people.
Yes, exactly.
Because they are not. That's not who they are as a person.
Correct. Yeah. And everyone's got a story and what brought them there.
They do.
And these stories can be really quite amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
In some instances, and often quite inspiring.
Yes.
That they can go through all of that and living on the street, and they still want to do things to help people. One of the people I met on the street was Sam, and he would give his homeless friends the shirt off his back.
Yep.
So, they're just not what people think they are.
Correct, absolutely.
Yeah. Of course some are, but that goes the same for all the people walking around here.
We recently, this last month, we've had was it the Deputy Tax Commissioner? But it's some guy right up in the tax department, right up at the very top, $168 million embezzled.
Wow.
And you see, and yet up until that point, people would say, well, he's a really respectable guy. Look at him.
Yeah.
And so it really is, it's not just about socioeconomics of a person, as to who they are.
That's exactly right. Everybody has a story. Absolutely everybody has a story. And my thing is to not judge.
Absolutely. So when we're looking at White Light Publishing, you've also brought out an amazing array of books, and we're really looking at some quite beautiful ones. I love this cover.
That's a brand new book, Angelical Wisdoms, which is by Julia Vandersloot.
Yep.
Sorry, Jules, I hope I said your name right. Just a gorgeous book.
Absolutely. It's here we go. I'm going to read from it. And is this one where you flip to the page?
Yeah, you just open it up, and it's got a little ribbon if you find a favourite one that you want to go to.
Cobalt blue ribbon. So we've got, there is no one else like you on this entire planet. How freaking amazing is that?
Yeah.
Right? How freaking amazing, right? Oh well. And they got little moustaches at the bottom of every one of those little quotes. I love that.
That's what we called the... That's how Jules described which of the embellishments she wanted. He's a little mo dude.
I think it balances out because it's written by a woman and it has moustache, so it's multi-gender.
That's right.
We like that. We like that. But I really, the one I've really been drawn to. First, I was drawn to this one, which is all about joy, but then it's also loving this one. So being an empath kid, and I think it's really fantastic. We've got books coming out now, particularly through your publishing house, where it's dealing with, okay, so as a psychic child or an empathic child, how can we deal with this? And I love how it's really quite simple reading, and yet the message is really very clear about what it's about.
But it's even though the book was written specifically for children, it's still,
I don't want to read it.
Yeah, it's actually still good for adults to read, just in simple terms.
Yeah.
Christy and my daughter-in-law Jess wrote the book together, and that was one of the things they wanted to do. And I wish I had $1, which of course I would donate to charity, because every time I get money I give it away. But I wish I had $1 for every time I heard someone say, I wish I had that when I was a kid.
I really do, because I've opened it to this page and it says, feeling other people's energy all the time can tire you out and even make you feel sick or in pain.
Yeah,
hello.
So we're going to protect ourselves today because there's so much energy going around.
It is. It's like a wall in here, and when no one stands at the Mind Body Spirit Festival, it's like a wall of energy, and you're like,
yeah.
I think by the fourth day, 2:30 p.m., it's like, and it's like,
yeah, we'll be talking another language.
We will. So you see, that's that tongue-tied thing, but it's really quite beautiful books, and you've also brought out a number of card decks, and the most recent one I've got here.
You can open those if you like.
I can open them.
You can open them.
I'm excited.
We're going to let you open them.
Let me open. I'm feeling rather special. I've spoken to Linda. We spoke to her last week. We had an interesting time. She was in Tasmania. And she's going to be here today. I'm actually going to speak to her later this evening, and we're going to do a bit of a podcast, which will be on the website, Soulstar Radio. But I am a manifester. Magical Oracle cards, and we were talking about those last week very briefly.
Brand new off the...
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm loving the colours. We've got all this red and fuchsia, and so let's go there. We have got... I better not use that one.
It's the only one with...
There was a lot of that word last time which was bleeped out, so we're going to go career. But suffice to say, it's a very down-to-earth deck. I might just go like that and just not show you. Own your something. Own your something. I really love that. But yeah, definitely got to be very careful where we're using those. But yeah, very amazing, quite real deck, you know. You sort of feel real, that.
And they've got a beautiful energy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very caring. And that's the main thing that I notice about a lot of the people that, a lot of the authors coming through here. It's all that one thing of, like, everyone's caring a great deal about what they're doing, and you can read the author's words as they would speak them, rather than. Am I sure they wrote that? You know, that you can see they've written it.
Yeah, every. I
mean, that's an exact.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Sally's exactly the same with her little bit of wisdom. Everybody is exactly the same.
Absolutely.
Their books are as they are.
As they are. They are who they are.
And they're a diverse group that they're good.
Oh yes, and we had many laughs at the book launch actually. That was kind of really off the charts.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty blessed with the authors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how many publications have you brought out now? Because you've only been in 2014, I think.
I think they're up to about 18. And we've got...
Sorry, can I just excuse you? Which card am I taking?
Excuse me, everybody.
We're on a live stand.
So that's our business.
We're literally dealing live with things. So what I might do is go to our first caller. We have got Terry in Fairbairn, Georgia. Are you there, Terry?
Yes, I am.
On the headphones. If I can find them.
I don't know how it's going to work, but I can talk.
Hang on there, Terry. We're live. It's fun. Oh, see, I'm just going to take Terry from here, baby.
Yeah.
Are you there, Terry?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you hear me now? Audio's okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Ah, beautiful. So, sorry, if I can get your date of birth, I can do a reading for you there, Terry.
Okay, June 4th,
1968.
Brilliant. So with your energy, you're very, very able to adapt and overcome, and you are the ultimate trooper, as I might call it. You get down to business, you get things done, and you don't really give up, surrender, and say die. It's a great deal of adaptability in your energy, a great deal of being able to be very practical, and you set down to the task and just keep going until it's done, I feel, as well. At the moment, I'd feel a lot of confusion around you to do with, you know, where am I going now? How do I want to set my feet down in the ground? And you may find yourself needing to literally plant your feet quite a bit, if that makes sense to you. So it's going to, because it's a lot of trouble grounding at the moment. Now, I'm actually using a Oracle card deck called I Am Manifestor Magical Oracle Cards. That's what I'm going to be using today for you. And I'm just pulling a card, and hopefully it doesn't have an expletive in it. It doesn't. There you go. Very good. So what we've got here is a really beautiful, grounded, down-to-earth deck that's just really real. No holes barred there. And what it's saying is, it's talking about sacred place, and I'm taking that to mean, this is a deck I've never seen before, mind you, or used. So the sacred place card is the one that's come out, and I'm really feeling this is about you having to centre and ground. So it's backing up what I was saying just a minute ago to you about having to centre and ground at the moment. So I'm just going to put that card up so that you can see that at home when you maybe tuning in the podcast later on. But before that card we've got health. After that card we've got prosperity. So I'm wondering whether you've actually been having issues with the health as well recently, because that would certainly point to this having been a bit of an issue. You are needing to work harder on being able to relax. So I've just said work harder on relaxing, which is actually kind of funny. Perhaps you've been working too hard on not relaxing, but it's really important for you to work on how you can tone things down, calm things down for you. You are going to have prosperity in the future and the ability to step forward in a much more powerful way than what has been in the last 18 months, where it's like having to catch up and play catch up and more catch up and catch up again. The last year, in 2016, it was a 1 year for you, but you wouldn't have felt as if it was a one or a new beginnings. You would have felt like you're still wrapping up the past quite a lot here. But what's going to be happening is, once you go into that centre and really take your time, take some deep breaths for yourself and smell the roses, get out and away from the noise of people and just back to yourself, then what's going to happen is you're going to be able to start charging forward again, and your mind will be easier to collect and get your thoughts together and feel more focused and able to deal with the challenges that are going on here. And the message I get with that is, you can't get a rainbow without the rain. So it's really kind of an important process you're going through, where you're having to deal with some of these, oh gosh, they're down here, and then you're going to be able to come back up through that. But it's by looking out for the rainbow rather than just looking at the clouds or looking at the rain that's important to walk through the rain, as we might put it, but not to get stuck and bogged within it, if that makes sense to you. And it is talking about prosperity. It is talking about prosperity being on the way. So what you would have been concerned about is, am I going to also see improvements on the financial level as well? And the answer is yes. So it's like you're going to be able to get to the end of all of that and feel a lot more balanced in where things are going for you. This next year as well, when we're looking at this year and next year, I do feel that that's where, on a numerological level, you'll find that 2018 is much kinder for you. 2017 is, it's a bit unusual. 2016 was weird enough, but 2017, I mean, just look at the news in the last 24 hours, and I think we've got it covered there. Something's up when a bar in Washington's willing to shout everyone, a drink in the bar. So it's a lot of things going on that can seem to not make sense around us all right now on the bigger sort of plane of existence. And certainly we've got a lot of stuff where people are trying to whip up fear, and it's really important not to buy into that fear, and instead to very much be, deep breath, take yourself back out into nature, ground yourself. And it feels as well, do you get kind of a bit of kind of an empty feeling in the tummy, or a pushing down, dragging kind of feeling in the tummy at all?
No.
Okay, that's okay. What I'm picking up there and why I'm saying that is because it just feels as if your energy can feel a bit depleted, and I would normally call this a spleen chi deficiency, but not being a Chinese doctor or anything, I'll have to get him back on again to talk about this, but you know, it's like you haven't had the energy to get going or the energy to get moving. So the more you can go back into nature and reground yourself, the more energy you're going to pick up and be able to get moving again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I just haven't had the gumption and the energy that I know I would, I guess, in a normal case have, or that I should have. And, you know, especially with the things that I have going on that I'm excited about. I just have a hard time just getting that push, or the push for myself, rather.
And that would feel almost like it's difficult even to get out of bed in some ways. So,
oh my God,
energy exactly. That's why I felt like that dragging in the tummy, because that's normally associated with this, but it doesn't mean everyone's going to feel it who has this going on. What I would say is if you can meditate on the sunshine and actually imagine you can draw the sun right down through your head, right down through your whole body, take it right down into the feet, and then imagine you're growing tree roots out of your feet right down into the ground, and anchor those roots right down in Mother Earth, and also lifting your posture up while you're doing this. So you're taking the energy down first, but then you're lifting your posture up. And if you can do that when you're doing that particular exercise, it will bring your energy back to you, and you'll be able to feel a lot more, not only grounded but energized. Because what's happening is, I think there's just too much moon energy going on here in one way, where a lot of emotions are going on, and you're not quite, I'll put that aside, I'll deal with it later. You know, and in fact, you're needing to be able to sit with those feelings. But it is really a case of, I think, if you're sitting in nature with those feelings, it's easier for you to ground them again and then go, yep, okay, I can deal with that now. The other thing as well is you don't really let up on yourself. You don't really give yourself a break from, like, if you're feeling down mood-wise or feeling sad, you're not really sitting in that feeling. You're I'll just get up out of here and and you're going on and doing other things, or you're berating yourself and going, how dare me be, come on, get up, and you know, it's really kind of tiring, actually. You know, you've kind of got to be able to be a lot gentler on you is the main message that I've really got to drive home with you, because this whole it being nasty to yourself, you're actually really nice to everyone else, but you're kind of nasty to yourself, darling. And what happens is other people start being nasty to you because they're kind of responding to what you're doing to yourself. So when people go, you know, it's a law of attraction, and one of those is how you are is what you're attracting. So if you're getting nasty people, you must be nasty. No, no, no. If you're being nasty to yourself, you're going to cop nasty people. Get rid of this whole other people business. Sometimes as well, you actually, oh dear, sometimes you actually cop people who, well, they kind of feel permission to go a bit nuts around you, and it's sort of like, hang on, what did I do? Answer, nothing. You were there. You were simply there. That's all it is. And they were going to do this no matter who was there at that point in time. They were just going to do this. That's what they're going to be about. And it's really important not to go, oh, hang on, what was I doing to attract that?
Right.
Make sense?
Right.
Yeah, because there's a whole heap of, there's a whole heap of self-blame going on here that just really, you know, it isn't working for you. It's kind of tiring for you, and, you know, it leaves you with this whole sense of, you know, how do I get going and how do I get moving again? And it's really, really important to instead be a lot kinder to you. So anyone who's listening today or watching today who's doing the same thing, please listen, because, you know, our lovely caller Terry here, she's really giving you a wonderful insight, actually. And now, is there any question I haven't answered you want me to look at for you?
Yes, actually, I was contemplating a move out of state, and I really don't want to, but I almost feel obligated to, and I was just wondering, would it be a move that I should make, or should I just stay where I am?
I get all these different parts of America I'm going around and I can't make up my mind where I'm going. Whereabouts are you located now? You're in
I'm in Georgia now.
Georgia.
I'm in Georgia now, and I'm contemplating going back to North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I was hearing something that sounded like that, but I thought it was Colorado, but it makes sense that you're saying North Carolina. So I would actually say that's not a bad move for you, but not just yet. Give it another 3 months to settle over you completely, and by then everything opens up and allows you to do that, and it'll be a good move when it does. And I'm just shuffling the cards while we're here, just to make sure, and just any other answers I've got to that, you know, the cards may have. Okay, yeah, so it's actually going to be a good move. And a lot of the cards, oh, there you go, hello. So you're moving to your sacred space, essentially. That's what's going to happen here. Yeah, but you do need to take time to allow this to sit with you at the moment.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, I love it here, and I really don't want to move to North Carolina. But, well, my grandmother's there, and I feel obligated, like I need to be there with her.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, in the next 3 months, you'll be able to settle with your feelings about this and get that sense of, okay, when, how, what, and do I need to? I do feel you will, though, and I do feel it'll be a good move. I don't think it's a permanent move, though. I think it's a temporary one.
Great, yeah, because I love it here. And then also, and you mentioned prosperity, more specifically. Do you see any success in businesses that I plan on starting?
Yes, but there's a lot of letting go just at this moment that you're having to do. You're needing to work on your ideas a bit more, and then it will be able to come to fruition. So I hope that helps you today.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for your call there, Terry, and thank you also, Lauren, for coming in today. It's been lovely having you join us and actually being welcomed onto the stand today. That's been an absolute pleasure. And high five! We'll catch you next time on Soul Star Radio. In the meantime, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Is it pretty?
Daddy.
It's pretty.
Maybe honestly, I don't know. Maybe honestly, I don't know.
Welcome to Messages from Above with Tony G on Ask One Radio, also on Periscope and Moonstruck TV. How amazing is that? So wonderful. So, if you have a question, if you want to connect with a loved one, call in now. Dial those digits. Come on. Deet, 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 deet. I know you have us on speed dial. Call in, get connected, and let's get some answers to your questions. Let's connect you with your loved ones on the other side. While I'm waiting for the first caller, I am going to tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. I am hosting 2 television shows, so I have Messages from Above on the world's #1 psychic radio station, A1R Radio. I also have Psychic Medium Tony G and Create a Life You Love on WSCS. I am so unbelievably grateful for all of these venues, mostly because they allow me to help you. Now, the work I do, I love it. It's my purpose. It's my passion. If I won the lottery, I would continue to work, maybe under a fake name, but I would continue to work because I love, love, love what I do. There is no better feeling than helping someone get resolution or helping somebody connect with a loved one and get an answer, or to know that they're okay. It's everything in the world to me, and I absolutely, absolutely love it. Now, on the flip side, not everybody agrees with what I do. It's not like I'm an accountant and everybody, agrees with accountants. And sometimes, very rarely, because I'm such a stubborn being and very fixed in my focus, and sometimes just really don't give a happy hoo-hoo about what other people think. Sometimes I do have a little bit of a challenge with people who don't love what I do, right? So I have to bring myself back into my area and realize they have their path, I have my path, we all have our own path, and just follow the light, follow the love, everything will work out, right? And that allows me to get on here another week and bring you amazing messages and just tell you how your life can unfold in a much easier way. And I love that. Makes it all worth it. So let's go to our first caller, Amber in Florida? Texas.
Yes.
Hey, Amber, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, Amber, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. So just real quick, if anybody thinks we know who's calling before we get them, I am such a testimonial that we do not. Amber, how can I help you tonight? Do you want to connect with a loved one, or do you have a question you would like answered?
Yeah, I would like to connect with a loved one.
Okay. So, instantly, I see an older gentleman walking in. He has brownish, brown hair. He's definitely older, a smaller build. I see him wearing casual pants and a button-down shirt. I feel like that shirt is short sleeve. I know this is a very vague description. I'm only seeing the side of him. His hair was a brown color, but I feel like it went white or that really light gray as he really aged. Do you know who this person is?
I'm thinking either it's my stepdad or maybe my grandpa, but I'm thinking more of my stepdad.
Okay. And so is this first I ask, is this who you wanted to connect with? Just because they're here, that doesn't mean that's who you came to play with. So is this who you wanted to?
Yes.
It
that's
is.
What, I wanted to. Yes, I wanted to connect with my stepdad.
Yay! I love when it all works out like this, right? That's amazing.
Yeah. I know,
so,
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I love this. And there is an older man with him who's a little bit more, he wasn't heavy, but he's a little bit fuller. He has white hair. He was a little bit taller, too. So that guy is also here, but we'll get to him in a second. So the first thing I want to ask you is, do you have a question you would like to start with for your stepfather?
Yes, I would just like to know if he has a message for me, like on my, I guess, my future or the decisions that I make.
Okay, so the first thing, they always start with love, and he's saying, I love you, and he wants you to know that you're very loved. And he's saying, I'm going to tell you what he's saying, and then I'm going to confirm it, because that's just the way I work. So the first thing he's saying is, you haven't been enjoying your life. You haven't been doing a lot of the things that you really like. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And then the next thing, this is funny, because I was actually getting messages for you before the show even started. I was sitting and I was getting this dialogue about doing more things that you love. So I know that that was coming in just for you, Amber. So I'm so grateful we connected. And then the next thing he is saying is, you've been very sad. You've been very downtrodden. You've been very almost depressed. Is that accurate? Okay. Okay. So he's saying he wants you to, and he's showing me, flip it over, turn yourself around, and he's saying, you're not going to do this overnight. You're not just going to wake up and all of a sudden be in a whole new vibration or feel amazing and keep that feeling. This is going to be a step-by-step process. And what he's saying, he's going to give you the directions right now of how you are supposed to do this. Step 1, find one thing you love. Right? One thing you love to do that makes you happy, makes you smile, brings you joy. And do that a little bit each day. Now, you know, a lot of us think, I don't have the money to take a trip to Maui, you know, because we don't, right? They are so funny. But here's the thing. You don't need money to dance in your living room. Right? You just crank up those tunes so loud that, not so loud that your neighbors complain, but you crank up those tunes. Maybe you wear a set of headphones, and you just start dancing, and you lose yourself in that dancing, okay? Movement is the best way to shake out negative energy. So when we're dancing, and especially if we're shaking those hips and lifting our feet and moving around like that, this is the best way to raise our vibration, bring some joy in, and then also to shake out bad energy. You notice when a dog bumps its head, it instantly shakes it off, right? We as people, we need to do that a little bit more, but we feel like we would look funny shaking our whole body like that, right? Probably. The second thing, and you don't have to do this for 10 hours. You can do this for 10 minutes. Okay, find your favorite song, happy song. Play it twice if you need to. And just get your brain in a new comfort zone. Get your mind in a new space. You keep thinking of the same thoughts over and over and over again, correct?
Yes, repetitively, yes.
Yes, and you're very, very upset because you didn't get something you wanted, or something didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Is that correct?
Yes.
And first I want to say I'm so sorry, because this is very devastating to you. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of it, but it's very devastating to you. So what he's saying right now is that if you can let go of that and realize that plan didn't work out because there was a better plan, right? There's a better path for you, a better plan. You're going to turn yourself around much more quickly. If we hold on to regret and what we believe should have happened, then we can never move forward. You know, you can't, even if you can do the splits, your feet can only go so far apart, so you'll never be able to get yourself far enough ahead. If you can let go of that, you know, this was not, there's a better plan for you. There's something better for you, and there's someone better for you. And then you can start to look forward to that. And that's the next step he's saying you need to take. You need to start looking forward to what the possibilities that could be. Now, you had a loss. This could be the loss of a relationship, the loss of him. But you had a loss, correct?
Somewhere, yes.
Okay. And he's saying, count your blessings. Because that was a blessing in disguise. Whatever it is, it wasn't meant to be. It's a blessing that it is the way it is now. And you are going to, once you say, okay, I'm going to play with this a little bit. I'm going to see if this is true. You're going to be amazed at how you just like start walking and then running, and then it's like you're on a bike and you're like going really fast, okay, into the future. Okay? He is also saying that so the first thing is to find something that makes you happy and do it. And dancing is a great example, but you might have something else. You know, putting your feet in the water might make you happy. I don't know. And then he is saying, look forward to the possibilities that could be coming in. And then the third thing, just, you know, he's wanting you to do just to help you to get yourself back up on your feet and feeling like life has possibilities and it is good again, because you haven't felt that way in a long time. He is saying the third thing that he really wants you to do, is to change, change the way you are praying. Are you praying at night? Because he's bringing up prayer, and start praying differently, or just start praying?
Well, I mean, I haven't, here lately, I've been forgetting to pray at night.
Okay, so that's why he's saying start praying, and when you do it differently. Okay. And I wanted to confirm that, because I'm like, of course she prays at night, and then he's like, So here's what he is saying about that. When you pray, and I want to tell you, I normally don't share this with people, but I'm going to share it with you, okay? I keep this very private because I don't want to seem like I brag. But during my prayers, I pray for everybody, and I ask for safety and love and abundance for everybody. And then I do this thing where I visualize, because by that point, you're really in a deep state of prayer, right? And when I'm praying for people, I don't think about what's wrong with them. I actually thank God for taking care. Like if somebody's out of work, I say, thank you, God, for getting them a job. If somebody is ill, I say, thank you, God, for healing them and helping them to get better. I don't pray on where they are. I pray on where they need to be. And I know, whether you call it God, Creator, Universe, they are working on it, even if we don't know they are working on it. They are working on it, okay? So I pray them, I thank them for bringing the solution to whatever problem, family and friends may have, or clients, or whatever it is. And then I go into this space where I visualize how I want my future to look and what I want brought into it. Now, by that point, I'm pretty deep into the prayer. It's almost like a meditation at that point. And before I know it, I'm asleep, but I'm falling asleep on all positive messages. And guess what? All those things that I'm visualizing in my prayers, those good things, they start coming in for me. They really do. And I'm going to tell you, I prayed for a vehicle I didn't have to pay for. And
that's a blessing.
It was, and I've gotten 2 now, and both of them were brand new off the showroom floor, okay? So the power of prayer works. I'm just saying, when you visualize that and you can feel yourself having it, you will be there with it. Right? Okay, so just so you know that. So these are the 3 things that you are to start changing immediately, okay? Does that make sense to you?
It does make a lot of sense, actually, because I found...
I'm having trouble hearing you. Okay. Amber, I know that you got the messages. I am so happy you came through today. I hope that you follow your stepfather's instructions, and I am grateful to have had you on the show. Wanda in Atlanta. How are you, Wanda?
I'm fine, and you?
I am doing absolutely phenomenal. So, Wanda, do you have a question, or do you want to connect with a loved one?
I have questions.
Okay, what's your first question, love?
I recently moved from a different state to Georgia, and my landlord put me in eviction after she knew that I moved. She's being vindictive. My question is, because I lost the case twice, I wanted to reopen the case again to let the judge know again the facts, that she knew everything before I was moving beforehand. I wasn't living there when she did the eviction. I wanted to know, will I win the case?
Okay, this is a difficult one because, okay, so, no, and here's why, You, unfortunately, unless you have absolute written documentation signed, they cannot by law change it. They're following the law, not the word. And that's really unfortunate because your old landlord, and I don't like to use this word, but the word I'm getting is kind of a shyster. Being manipulative, not bringing all the facts forward, but sometimes this is so unfortunate, and sometimes things happen like this, and there's not a lot we can do about it. There's really not a lot we can do about it in this time and space. What they are saying you can do, and you won't like this, and I feel like you will not want to do this, but they're saying that if you work with your old landlord, and you have to get this in writing prior to doing this, make an agreement that, if I pay all of this, will you remove the eviction from my record, and then have your old landlord sign this? I feel like that will work out for you. That once
it went through the court. A judge put the eviction on.
Right.
But I called her. She won't give me no information at all.
Yeah.
She says to call the credit bureau, the creditors, and give them my information. I did that. They have no information from her at all. And I'm constantly watching my credit report, and it's nothing on there. So it's like she's holding it hostage. She's not giving me no information. And she was lying to the judge about me moving, like as if she didn't know that I was still living in the apartment. And I wasn't. And I gave them proof that I was living somewhere else before she even did the eviction process. She knew I wasn't living there. And I gave her my last payment was with a check. And she knew prior, like 2 months ahead. I told her I was going to move in September. I told her I was moving. In October, I gave her my last check, and I told her I was moving. She didn't ask for anything in writing.
Okay, that's it. But the law states, and unfortunately, some landlords are not very honest and not very reputable. But the law states if she didn't have anything in writing, she can say whatever she wants, unfortunately. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right, okay? But if you want to make sure that this does not show up on your permanent record, get your previous landlord to say, listen, let's come to terms. If I pay this, you will.
$15,000.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Right, and the other question is, I was thinking about filing bankruptcy to have that not on my record at all.
Right.
Because of the $15,000 payment, I can't pay the $15,000 and save to buy a home. So I was going to file bankruptcy. I wanted to know, would that be a better option if I don't win the court case?
Okay, so unfortunately, if there was a judgment issued, judgments can't be filed on a bankruptcy. So even if you filed, I think you might want to double check these facts, but even if you filed bankruptcy, if there was a judgment for the $15,000, then bankruptcy might not be your best choice. So what I'm going to say is this. This is a very unfortunate situation. It's an extremely unfortunate situation. And I really am a little bit kind of shocked about the situation. So, the best thing you can do is work out a negotiation with your old landlord, get it in writing, and see what you can do for there. That's the best thing you can try to do right now. So I feel like if you do that, it's going to be much, much better, okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I would, some things a psychic can answer and some things a lawyer can answer. So you might want to think about talking to a lawyer about some of these things and see if a lawyer can't get it back into court and help you. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for calling in this evening. I'm really grateful I was able to talk with you.
Okay.
Thank you. You've been listening to Ask One Radio. This is Messages from Above. I do not have a law degree, so please, my information might not be fact in your state. Also, I know the facts of my state a little bit, but not the facts of yours. So always double check law advice. Thank you very much. I have some very exciting shows coming up very soon. Jimmy Mack will be on my show in July. Zarathustra will be on my show in August. And Marla Martinson of Cosmic Conversations hopefully will be on my show sometime in June. You can go to my website to check out all of the guests I will be having on my show. Plus, here's the big thing. Marla and I have been doing a number of shows together on her station, Cosmic Conversations, and it is awesome. We've done the root chakra, first chakra, second chakra. I'm going to do some hypnosis on Marla, and we're going to kind of put that on air. Ooh, on-air hypnosis. Will I make her cluck like a chicken? No, I will not. Anyway, I crack myself up. Oh, gosh. I hope I'm cracking you up, too. And Dave is saying, yes, make her cluck like a chicken. Only if we both are in agreement that clucking like a chicken would be funny. I hope you have an amazing week. I will be back here next Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 Eastern, with your messages from above. Remember, you are love. Night-night.